Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberonimo!
Greetings. Clobberonimo indeed. Greetings, Clobberonimos and clobbers, Clobberonimos, clobberettes, clobberoids, clobberooskies, all the clobbering there is. Good evenings to you all, my dear friends. Oh boy, what a day. I don't know how I made it here, but I did. Rough one, but I know once I get to hanging out with you, my great friends, it'll go all the annoyingness of this day will pass, because I look forward to hanging out with you guys every time, and I cannot wait to get started. Not that I have anything big planned, but hey, we'll talk, and that's all, and we'll hang out. So that we'll have to do. Of course, it is Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk here on Clobberin Times, folks. Clobberin Times, issue number 511 on the YouTube, number 1,211 overall, and yes, indeed, it's comics, and more comics on Monday night. But show notes are nothing in particular other than Tuesdays and Thursday nights. I'm over hanging out usually with the great Tom and the Midnight's Edge gang. Midnight's Edge After Dark, I should say that. Great august body. I'm not worthy, but I'm very honored to always be there. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for those nights, and it's really great stuff. Wednesday is going to be busy. I believe 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be a guest on our good buddy King Dolphin TV's channel. That's Raymond Guillaume. The great Raymond Feliciano. And Sandra Feliciano, of course. And I'll be proud to be a guest on that show, talking some comics. And then after that, Loki's Comic Book Roundtable. And after that, I'll be here doing my own Wildcard Wednesday night. And then, of course, Thursday night, same time. All my shows on my channel are 9 p.m. Central usually. And that will be another Thursday night, another edition of the Clubhouse with our wonderful First Officer Raquel, and of course the great Chief Engineer Mark D. And Friday nights, it's with Nick Weiser and the Comic Shop Gang. Talking some, actually before that, it's with my great buddy Dadman on, I believe, 7 Eastern time, talking some NFL football, playoffs and such. And then, of course, 8:30, it's with Nick and the Comic Shop Gang. And then, of course, Saturday night Star Trek, as always. This coming week, only one episode to review, but we will have our season 4 wrap party. Best episodes, worst episodes. We will invite crew members. I don't know if they can make it or not, but our crewmen, Jill and LT, will be invited. I hope, Lord Thoth, I think I saw you out there, buddy. If you can be here Saturday night, please feel free to join us. If not, we do understand you're a busy man, but if you were of a mind to, you are more than welcome to join us, good sir, for the season wrap party. And now, shout outs. Let's do some shout outs, shall we? Firstly, of course, our great wrenches. Whether they're here or not, we just like to get those good, fantastic wrenches shouted out. And so here we go. Of course, the great Eric K., the bronze wrench. I hope you're doing well, buddy. It's good to see you. Always great to have you here, my friend. The vindicated wrench of the North, Chris Persia, my good friend. Thank you so much for all you do. And the extraordinary D. Bud Martin, the wrench of iron. The aforementioned great Lord Thoth, God of wrenching. Avon lives and long live the Legion, my friend. And a shout out to the lovely Lady Thoth. I hope you're both doing well. J-Man Forever, the great wrench without fear. And my partner on Earth B. Buddy, Earth B soon. Earth B soon. We got another Earth B show coming up in February. I've got some ideas I'm going to run past you. And I hope you're looking forward to another visit to the great Earth B. I know I am. Hungry Boy, master of the Clobberin, Clobberin Times official artist, and of course, artist of the great cover for sci-fi tales, science fiction tales, I should say, by our wonderful First Officer R.M. Briggs. And Kal-El, the Super Wrench, and wielder of Wrench Mjolnir, Maddie's Daddy, and Phantom Outsider, that old rascal. And, of course, Apollonie's minion, I know, is here. So let's all look at the pupper. Hey, pupper. Hey, Apollonie. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Love you. And let's see here. Now let's see what who we have here with us. Okay, LT. Cool, buddy. Like I said, no pressure. Never any pressure. If you can make it, that would be great. We'd love to have you, man. All right, let's see here. Who else is up in here tonight? Stuart Mitchell, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. Always great to see you, buddy. Let's see. Try to see if there's anyone else I haven't. Oh, Michael Carney. Hello there, Michael. Good to see you. Lemon Pie. Hey. Hang on. Looks like everyone else has been shouted out already. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. What's up? JT Kirk, what's up, brother? And hey, Brian Hepburn, what's up, pal? Good to see you. I think I got everybody saved far. Yes, yeah. I'm thinking of, I'm going to be starting, I'm going to be starting a new segment. I think I'll do it probably the first Monday of every month, which means next Monday night. It's going to be called, I think I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call it. I might call it Mega City Comics. It's going to be about comic shops in the 80s. It's going to be about comics in the 80s, basically. In other words, all those great comics that we would get every some of the best comics going. Masters Maniac Mexico. Oh my goodness. It's good to see you, my friend. He says, all good together we will triumph, just lurking as connected to the Bork Tube. Love for all and everybody, and special thanks to Kluby for this platform. Thank you. I hope it sounds like to me like you were hanging in there and persevering, my friend. Way to go. Way to hang in there, brother. We appreciate you. It always, yes, indeed. MMM, everybody. Let us always give thanks that we to see our brother MMM, Masters Maniac Mexico. Always, always fantastic to see you, my buddy. Big shout out to you, friend. And I hope everyone puts the MMM in there in the chat for you. So everybody's always out there praying for you and thinking about you, buddy. And so it's good to see you, man. Hang in there, my friend. Kick on and clobber on. Kick ass and clobber to forever. So that does my heart good to see you, buddy. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna do an 80s. Do at least one stream a month about. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It'll be a stream about 80s. It'll be a. I might. I'm thinking about doing it about the comic shops of the 80s, or maybe just doing it about. The comic shops 80s and 90s. I guess I'm not sure. It's gonna be something like that. I think I'm going to start it next week. About what it was like to hang out and to buy comics in the 80s. That was as far as when yes, there were some comic shops before that, of course. D-Bud will tell you, and many others. And then, of course, but it really started to come into, they really started to really multiply quite a bit. And the direct sales market, as they call the direct to comic shops market, the direct market, really started to explode and even implode later, of course, in the 80s. Dave Rayborn, what's up, cuz? Good to see you, buddy. So I think it'll be something like that. I've not nailed down what I'm going to call it yet. Hopefully by then I will. I don't know if anyone will even care about that idea, but I'm definitely going to, and I'll have someone every now and then to reminisce a little bit about what buying comics were in the 80s and what their comic shop experiences were and that sort of thing. But I want to make that a regular thing. Good to see you there, cuz. So I don't know what any of you think about that, but we'll give that a shot. So, and of course, J-Man, we will continue our never-ending journey to our never-ending visits to Earth B. I will get with J-Man for another Earth B visit. So I hear you there, Hungry Boy. But those were some great times, man. I tell you what, some great times. And I cherished them. And there were some great comics. I mean, there was some really, truly, some great stuff. Not just the mainstream either, obviously. So, Brian Hepburn says, my main local haunt was Comic and Card Castle. Okay. I didn't know what that was, of course, but yeah. Hey, Stunt Brat. Oh, my goodness. What is up, lovely lady? Big hugs to you. Big hugs to you. Big hugs to you, indeed. It's good to see you, dear. Always great to have you here. But that's always been my favorite place. Hungry Boy and Brian is my favorite. Hanging out at comic shops is always my favorite place to go. Obviously, to varying degrees, depending on how good they are. But I've had a lot of the greatest times hanging out at comic shops, and working in them and running them and all that stuff. But just hanging out as well. So. So glad to see you there, Stunt. And then, of course, we didn't get other than the Bob Haney, we did not get a review done, and I'm mad at myself. Well, we did. I did a random review last week. That is, well, I'll still do one once in a while, but we're gonna have a setup review. So next Monday night, I think it'll either be a review or it'll be my new comic shop, my 80s comic show, and of course we'll have a review on. A normal review where someone and I will review a comic, and then every month we will have a visit to Earth B, Bob Haney, J-Man, and I. Stuart, Mega City 1. Well, I called it Mega City Comics, and Maddie's daddy will tell you it was relatively sparsely stocked. I didn't have a lot of back issues when I started out. Never really had a whole lot of back issues, but I primarily handled. I handled a little bit, but I handled mostly new stuff. Grindhead Jim, hello there. Good to see you. Well, thank you, Grindhead Jim. I appreciate that so much. It's good to see you. Always great to see new people pop in. Thank you, sir. But Stuart, it's a shop that the first shop I ran in the early '80s. I ran for someone else, and say I can't even talk about it without getting picked on, but I can't help it. Just ask the question. Yeah. And that was called Southland Comics, and it was for a guy who had a subscription service. When I started started buying comics from him, and then helped them open up that comic shop. We had 2 locations eventually. That was in the early '80s. But then I left to go do other things and befriended another guy with another shop in New Orleans, and then later came back to Baton Rouge and opened up Mega City Comics. But it was a very modest place. Just Joe Jobber Buddy, good to see you, man. Stuart, Mega City Comics, I'll admit, it was a modest place, but it was mine, and of course it was ours. Really, I'd have to drive down to New Orleans every week to get the new comics, and all my friends were so often, even when I would get back, even really late at night with the new comics, so many of my friends, Maddie's daddy amongst them, would be there or would show up the next day if they weren't there that night to buy the new comics. They would hang out. I had a big TV in there, a big couch in there, and we just had so much fun. I hear you there, Hungry. Well, in my case, I was my own manager. Now Chris Persia's doing it to me, man. I just can't get away, can I? Oh, no, he's going to be beating me. Oh, no. It's Mr. Sluggo, Eric K. Oh. Yeah. So, but anyway, it was a lot of fun. I was obviously a big Judge Dredd fan. That's why I named it that, of course, duh. But there are a lot of, I think probably every conceivable cool name for a comic shop has been taken. I would say probably. Oh, boy, is that for sure. Hey, Hungry Boy, HB, that is a lot of truth there. Except for one of my good friends who was a manager that I'd worked for. The owner that I worked for. I am the law. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this Stallone version. Dave, what's up, Dave? Good to see you, buddy. So I don't know what possessed me to name it Mega City Comics. It's not like BR is much of a mega. It's a city. It's a city. It's but it's not on a mega. It was, but I'd imagine there's probably not one cool variation on a geek name that hasn't been named. A comic shop hasn't been named at some point. Just Joe says, hey, Clobby, are you going to do another stream with Nick Weiser on 90s superhero cartoons like you did the Spider-Man TS a few months ago? You know what? I need to talk to Nick about that. I think I will. I'm going to do one. I got to see what he wants to do because the mid-90s Fantastic Four cartoon, the second season, remember, the second season, the first season's filthy garbage. The second season is one of my all-time favorite things in the world. The second season is like Batman the Brave and the Bold. It's my happy place. There's just not enough of it. So I may do a show, watch it. I may force myself, and maybe I'll see if Nick wants to do this, to watch the first, and then, of course, watch the second, and talk about the whole show as a whole and the contrast. So that's one that's a good. We might do X-Men, though, also. Joe, I think we might do X-Men because I just binged that a while back. I'll see if Nicholas wants to do that. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. So what would people prefer, X-Men or you know what? Gosh darn it. And now that I have my new computer, which at least helps me do something, I'm gonna start a poll. Okay, here I am making a poll, folks. I'll let you all tell me. Not that you necessarily care about such things, but in case you do, which 90s? Oops, sorry, I can't really see very well. 90s Marvel cartoon should pick Pfizer and I review next. How about that? Okay. Sorry, sorry about doing a poll, but you gave me a good idea, so I should ask it. I'll let you guys decide, unless I don't agree with you, then I'll make the decision myself. Kidding. Don't let me bias you. Don't let me bias you. There were only. Let's see here. Okay, I'll make 4. Although I can't think of another one. Before I make it, I know there's FF, X-Men, and Iron Man, because we already did Spider-Man. Oh, there's Hulk too. There's Hulk. Let's go with Hulk, even though you guys aren't going to want to do that one, but I've watched that one recently as well. Remember, 90s Marvel cartoons. All right, so now the poll is up and running. We'll see. Stuntbrad said Spaceballs. Well, our great buddy Nick Weiser on Toxic Tuesdays done Spaceballs, has he not? I think they did it, yeah. Look, that first season of the FF cartoon theme is vile, Fanty. In fact, but I have been watching Iron Man. Just for the hell of it, because I didn't watch it much back then. And I watched it. The first season is really bad. I mean, bad. The first season of the Iron Man, 90s cartoon is terrible. Jax Mama, what is up? Good to see you, my dear. Oh, man. I hope you're doing well. I hope you all, family and everyone's doing well, my dear. Thank you so much for popping in. Big M in the chat for our good buddy, the great Mark C. Everybody. Let's see. Okay. The first season of the Iron Man cartoon from the 90s is god awful. Oh, that's right. Stuntgrab. I remember you excuse me, telling me that. Greatness. Well, we all love Spaceballs, that's for sure. Excellent, Jax Momo. I'm glad to hear that, my dear. Glad you're doing well. Oh, as always, we'll never forget Mark. We all love to him and everyone. He's always right here with us. He's always right here with us in spirit, talking about the thing he loved, comic books. So, let's see here. Yeah. So anyway, I was watching the first. I watched the first season of Iron Man, and it sucks. I mean, the theme sucks. The animation. Oh man. Well, so I think a lot of the same people who did the second season of the FF cartoon, which was brilliant. Not all of them, but some of them. Well, the second season had a bit of a change as well. Let's put it like that. And yet, I don't think they weren't the same. I don't see Larry Houston's name on it, so they didn't. I mean, they had a pretty good theme song. The stories are a little bit better in the second season. It's not great. It's not FF season 2 level, but it is an improvement. But man, oh man, the mullet, that long hair on Tony Stark makes me sick. Hey, J-Man, it's cool. It's cool. Lurk. I'm just glad you're here, buddy. And hello to anyone else who might be lurking and anyone who's watching on a rewatch. We really appreciate you. Yes, Jax. Jackson Momoa, it is almost been, I cannot believe it's almost been 2 years. But we will always honor him. Thank you so much. And it's always lovely to see you visit with us. We'll always, always in his honor because he loved comics. And I miss him. I miss him. Every time I come on here to talk comics, I always miss him because he always had so much to bring to it. And there are even times I go, I know what Mark would think about this, So I hear you. Very much missed. But the second season has a great opening theme. But that mullet on Tony Stark, why? That's the one that 90s long hair mullet thing he's got is horrific. But yeah, I am Iron Man. That was they got rid of the stupid Force Works. Hawkeye popped up again, but the voice was still terrible on some of the characters. I mean, Robert Hayes is fine as Iron Man. Rhodes is still there. Julia Carpenter's there. So they kept her, and it was a different kind of a love interest. There's only one more season. Like I said, it is an improvement, especially, and it's a great opening theme. But man, that mullet, that long hair on Tony Stark's awful. Makes me cringe. And of course, and then look, I was just as prejudiced in the 90s when I saw Hair Boys. I was like, oh, good God. So Tony his business in front. But it was funny. One of the things funny about it, though, to me, was how this was still the era where Iron Man, and I think our buddy D-Bud's not here with us tonight. He's the Iron Man king. Where Iron Man still had a secret identity. Remember that? True, Just Joe. I'm a mulletist. So, Iron Man was always, Tony Stark it was a secret. Good one. I see what you did there, Phantom Outsider. So, and I never even mentioned his drinking problem that he had, get it, Robert Hayes drinking. Anyway. So yeah, for the longest time, and I remember when, when the movie came out in 2008, the Iron Man film, which I loved it. I got to admit, the ending pissed me off the first time. Because, see, I had not been reading Marvel for a long time at that point. And the last time I had read Marvel, nobody, everyone in the world didn't know who Tony Stark was. They thought Iron Man was registration act crap. Yeah, exactly, Chris. So everyone thought Iron Man was his bodyguard. And Tony Stark was, they were different. I always thought that was a cool idea. And so at the end of the movie, of the film, which again, I love the movie. But the end of the first Robert Downey Jr. movie, where they even say something about, he said something about, oh, this is like my bodyguard. That's kind of thin, isn't it? That aggravated me. I'm like, and then when he went out there, and I'm thinking, good, they're going to have a secret, it's going to be like normal. Iron Man is, and Tony Stark, no one knows who he is. And then he just blurts it out, I am Iron Man. Now, I've got used to it, but I still don't like it. I mean, it's a cool way to end the movie. I am Iron Man. I want to play that song. It's great, that Iron Man song. Oh, man. It'll always stick in my craw to us. I'd like to ask D-Bud what he thinks about that. I mean, still like the movies, and all that stuff back then, and everyone's just used to it. Tony Stark not even having a secret identity. I don't know. I mean, not every superheroes do kind of usually need them. I mean, well, Maddie's daddy. That's a very good point that you raise. You can only imagine it must be infuriating to have some hack destroy the quality of your work. That's one of the things about that's I put up with in comics for so long. When I've seen people will come along and they'll take a character that they did not create. Now, look, I don't begrudge them a gig or work, and they're working on stuff, but they'll take a character that they did not create, and rather than just try to build on that and write interesting stories, yeah, they will take some artistic license here and there. But to come along and dump on the creators by doing things that creator probably wouldn't have wanted is hackery to me. Because you're not respecting what went before. You're basically just dumping, just to make a paycheck, you're dumping all over someone else's character. You're not showing the reverence. How would you like that done to your character? It's disrespectful as well. Yeah, and I hate it. And I've always hated it. That's why I usually hate revisionism in comics. Yeah, LT, because I can't stand revisionism. Look, again, we talked. Our great buddy Mark loves John Byrne, and I like a lot of Byrne's work too. But John Byrne was a revisionist jackass sometimes. Still like some of his work, but he was one of the biggest purveyors of revisionism in comics, and he was the most he was the most successful at it, probably. I mean, do you take a character and build on them? Don't come back and say, what else went before was crap. And I'm just going to disregard it and change it all I want. That's why I hated what Byrne did to Superman in not just, he did also turn him into Super Yuppie, which I hated, but I hated what Byrne did to Superman for a lot of reasons in 86, and that's one of them. Oh, yeah. Case in point, Legion of Superheroes, terrible. Oh, and the Legion has been revived so much, dude. It's just horrific. But almost every character has had it done to them now. One of the most interesting stories was in Iron Man 150. That was a great one. He and Dr. Doom were in King Arthur's time. Yep, and Doom was amazed at the intellect of Stark's lackey. Exactly. That's one of my favorite bits ever. Phantom Outsider. Iron Man number 150 was great, man. That was a great issue. But I can't stand it. And look, when Alan Moore did it, he didn't say what happened before didn't happen. He said he went his own way with it in other words, John Byrne flat out said in interviews, nothing ever happened to Superman unless I say so. And he trashed things that went before him. Alan Moore took Swamp Thing in a different direction without saying that what happened to him didn't ever happen. He just said it turned out to be something different. Now, Miracle Man doesn't count Hungry Boy because Miracle Man was based on, when the Fawcett characters when Fawcett went out of business in the 50s, it turned out they had been shipping their comics over to the UK for a long time, and Captain Marvel comics sold through the roof, and all of a sudden they couldn't get any more. And so Michelangelo and some other people created an act ripoff in Marvel Man. It was the most blatant, crazy ripoff you'd ever seen. So there was no creativity. It was just some change of colors and some names here and there. And so by the time they brought him back in Warrior magazine, Alan Moore, the Captain Marvel had already been back at DC had him. I love Miracle Man. I actually was Marvel Man than Miracle Man, but what Moore did to that, Moore was doing that to something that was already a pastiche, so I don't mind it. Whereas when he took Swamp Thing, he did change what the character was, but he didn't say what happened before never occurred. And that's basically all. He innovated. He didn't create, but he innovated with him, which I don't mind. Steranko built on Kirby's Nick Fury. Byrne almost deconstructed by comparison, despite my appreciation of his FF. I like Byrne's first couple of years on FF, and then I'll check the poll in a second. Kimura. Yeah, I love Miracle Man. I mean, when he was Marvel Man and before that, but yeah. See, Simonson's Thor. That's great stuff, Maddie's daddy, and he didn't trash Kirby or any of the stuff that went before him. So far, 23 votes in. And there's X-Men in the lead at 39%. Coming in at a far distant second place is the Fantastic Four. And in third place, I am Iron Man at 22% and poor old Hulk Smash at 13%. Once I end the poll, I will apprise Nick and what the results are and see what he wants to do. I don't know when exactly we will do it. He's got to watch him first, but I might just do FF by myself then. Speaking of a great Mark C, way back when we first started this, we did a show about Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and maybe time to go back and revisit that. Gwagnar. Oh, Gwagnar, yes. I should have put Silver Surfer cartoon on there. That's definite. In fact, damn it, I wish I'd have thought about that one. Damn me in the face. I like the Hulk cartoon, okay, but I wish I could edit it. Crapola. Now I wish that was Silver Surfer. Well, poop. Because Silver Surfer was great. I'm going to be doing that one soon. I don't even need to poll it. It's going to happen. Because see, if I'm going to do one with Nick, he's got to watch it, and so when he watches X-Men, and I'll talk to him about it if he wants to. I mean, he might not even want to. I'll ask him. Hungry Boy voted for Iron Man and D-Butt's number. D-Butt's honor there. Yeah, but if D-Butt were here, he might vote for Iron Man. I'd like to see what he thinks about that. Yeah, you almost saved the day there, Gwagnar, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Gwag, for reminding me, though. Richard Clobberin needs to review the 1966 Marvel superheroes. Yeah. 66 Spidey and, FF. Yeah, I love them. They need to put those FFs on real DVD. I've got bootlegs of them. Yeah, so. Well, crap. Silver Surfer for damn sure. Excuse me. For damn sure. Did anyone here else watch the Silver Surfer cartoon? What a beautiful cartoon that was. The three-part origin story at the beginning I had some issues with because there's no FF in there, but with Hunger Bush says Simonson took Kirby and added to the actual poetical. Simonson was a huge Kirby fan, so it figures he loved Kirby. There's one of those Kirby documentaries where I love when Simonson was talking about, because this is something that gets talked about a lot. How Kirby has to grow on people, like when they're kids, they don't like his art at first. And some people never like his art, which is all fine and good. But he's this countless story of people saying they didn't like him at first and then they liked him later. And Simonson said, I liked him from the beginning. I loved him. And that's me too, but I do, and a lot of other people are that way about it, which is perfectly fine. I'm just saying. Enough Shalabal, though, in the cartoon. The guy who does the voice, which I can't remember his name, on the Silver Surfer cartoon, he grew on me. But Edward Albert did his voice in the second season of FF, and he did a great job on the voice also. So, great stuff. Great stuff. Damn, I wish I'd have put that server. Let's see how we're doing on that. 25 votes now. Wow, X-Men has a big lead. I wonder if it can be caught. I wonder if it can be caught. Yeah, you see, Just Joe, the guy who did the Larry Brody, the guy that did the Silver Surfer cartoon, was a big time fan of the comic, but he said he did it on purpose. He wanted to do it for an adult themed science fiction show, but that kids could still watch, but they wouldn't really get all the stuff. And he did just a beautiful show. That music, and even the CG was not it mixed well with the 2D animation. Decepticon, what's up, brother? Good to see you. It is good to see you, man. So yeah, X-Men, like I say, I just went back and binged it a couple of months back, so it'll be fun to do that. Shalabal. Yeah. And Big Barda. Yep. Now I want to go back and watch that again after I get through with Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Oh. Ezra Goldstein, shalom. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Yep. I need to do. I'm planning to do some stuff about a lot of superhero cartoons again this year because it's been a long time. I wanted to give it a little bit of time, and now it's been so much more people attuned to the channel rather than them having to go back and watch those clunky old videos. I'm going to redo some of those topics, not remakes, but. Just Joe says, off topic, I know, Clobby. Clobby was a 24 fan. Yeah, I was. Yep. We talked about this last night on the Geekery. The lovely actress Anne Wershing, who played Agent Renee Walker for 2 seasons. Yes, she passed away. So sad. She was 45. Beautiful lady. Unfortunately for her, she was on the Star Trek P Hard, but you can't judge people for having taking a gig, right? So, but beautiful girl and a lady, and that was totally unexpected there. Yeah, damn shame, man. Damn shame. F cancer. But I was a fan of hers. Yes, she was just again really lovely. You just never know, man. Yeah, sad. Well, I remember when the X-Men cartoon debuted, Decepticon, I thought kids would grow up with the same fondness for that roster we got for Super Friends. Seems I was right with this Redux coming. Yeah, and you just hit on something, Sean. For me, one of the biggest problems I have with that cartoon, I have a lot of issues with them. I mean, I enjoyed binging it, don't get me wrong, is I don't like that roster very much. Let me take a look at it here to show what I mean. Let me just take a look at because I know they're bringing it back, and they're going to really ruin it probably, but I'm terrified what they're going to do with it. But all right, so I just don't know. I just don't know about this. This lineup never did it for me. Find a good one here. All right, well, there we go. Okay. Basically, this lineup, this is the way I look at it. oh yeah. It will be ruined. Yeah, J-Man. Hey, Grim Dark. Good to see you, by the way. Okay, yeah, it will be ruined. And like you, J-Man. If not, I'll say so. But man, I'm telling you. Anyway, so here's my problem. I love Cyclops is my favorite X-Men. I know it's not everybody's favorite. Okay, so I'm glad he's there. Hate his costume in the show. Jean Grey's kind of pretty much useless on the show. She has a terrible costume. I'm not fond of that Storm outfit, but at least she's not Punk Storm, so I'll take it. I hate Jubilee. I'm not the biggest Wolverine booster or anything, but you got to have Wolverine. It's the new X-Men. You got to have him. The Beast is one of my favorite characters when he's in the Avengers or the X-Men, so he should have been on it more. I hate Gambit. I like Rogue fine. And who else? And then, of course, the kind of other characters, moved in and moved out, and there would just seem to be not enough. For example, I wanted more. Why couldn't Nightcrawler and Colossus be regulars? Why couldn't we have Nightcrawler? Mark D, what's up, dude? Carte blanche, whenever you feel like it, man. Why couldn't Nightcrawler instead of freaking Gambit? How about Colossus instead of Jubilee? And how about Kitty? If you got to have that character, how about Kitty Pryde instead of Jubilee? Okay. Now I watched it. Did anyone watch Wolverine and the X-Men? Clobby hates Gambit because he gives a bad name to fellow Louisianians like I just hate his stupid phony accent, man. Yeah, shall. But he's got this dumbass. Everyone thinks that his accent's just like everybody in New Orleans talks like that. Yo, shall. I hate that stuff. Kurt's way better than Gambit. Agreed. Phantom says, R.I.P. Lisa Lepring wins. Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that today. Lisa Lepring wins the Adams from the old Adams Family show. Bobby Hull. Cindy Williams. Cindy Williams of Laverne and Shirley. She passed. Okay. Wow. Leah Rose. Hello there, Leah Rose. Lovely to see you. Thank you for popping in. It's good to see you. Executioner song, of course. Let's see. Where were I? Sean said, all right, J-Man, take it easy, buddy. Have a great night, pal. Always good to see you, bro. Sean says would love if they did 90 stories for the X-Men 97 Executioner song, Extinction Agenda, Phalanx Covenant, etc. I know, I'm the only one. Well, I wouldn't count on it though, brother. It's gonna be oopa. It's gonna be bad. Wolverine the X-Men actually was pretty good. It just didn't last long enough. But I watched it after I watched the 90s X-Men again for the first time all the way through a few months ago. And I liked it. Knocked it out quick. Well, Wagner, that's a good question. My ideal X-Men lineup would be, can we mix old original team and new team? I would go with, I actually think I just like the original team so much, but I do like the new team as well. I mean, when we say new team, it's 1975, but you know what I mean. Cyclops. Okay, the original team needs no changes, so let's just go with the new X-Men. How about that? The Giants size X-Men #1 and on group. Pretty much the way they were. Again, Thunderbird I didn't care about him. Be honest with you, and Sunbird. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, I didn't care about Sunbird. Rather, let's see. Hey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Storm, Jean, when she became Phoenix for a while, as long as she's the normal Phoenix. Problem was that in some ways, though. Wolverine. I'd like to see Beast in there. Did I say Nightcrawler and Colossus? Nightcrawler and Colossus, Colossus for sure. Yeah, that's pretty much the way. And you could have Kitty Pryde. No problem with Kitty Pryde. There aren't really too many other ones I like that much, but then again, I stopped buying the comic regularly, like in the mid '80s, so got kind of old to me. Banshee's okay. I could take him or leave him, Chris. But you like Banshee? Banshee, I mean, I'm nothing against him. He's kind of, I don't know. You got enough firepower right there. You don't have too many people. It's not like the Legion, where they can be sent them out in packs. Or at least shouldn't be anyway. Although Angel, because Angel was with him sometimes for a while. But I love the Beast so much. See, but at this time when I'm reading these comics, though, when I first saw Beast, he was, I wasn't seeing the original X-Men comics, so he was an Avenger. I kind of actually prefer Beast. I know it sounds weird, but when we're not talking original X-Men, I kind of like to see him as an Avenger, hanging out with Wonder Man, getting in trouble. Am I the only one that likes him with the Avengers? I know he's more of an X-Man. Right, Beast and Wonder Man were great. They were a great team. They were the original Beetle and Booster. Wagnor, they were the original Beetle and Booster. I think is almost copied from them, really. Their relationship, but I know he's an X-Men. The only thing I hate is when they turned him into a stupid Beauty and the Beast kitty cat beast. I wanted to. Was that idiot? Was that Millar or Morrison or Warren Ellis or one of those morons that did that? Morrison, maybe? I think it was Morrison. Whatever jackass turned him into the Beauty and the Beast kitty cat looking beast. I wanted to punch somebody in the throat for that. And I mean, like, what? Oh, you out your damn mind. Yeah, so. Yeah, Morrison, I thought so. Angel Pete Holmes had the best line called Angel a Bird and asked him if he liked the seeds loose. Okay. Oh, Angel. Okay. Oh, it was horrible. That was it. I think that was Morrison Quietly, right? Fred Quietly. Sean said, for whatever reason, Wolverine had a thick Australian accent, and in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and the one-off Pride of the X-Men. Yet, I'm not. By the way, the Great Retro Blastings, and I was very privileged to be a part of a video they did about Pride of the X-Men, and yet I'm drawing a blank on whether I asked. We know why that they thought what possessed them to have an actor do an Australian accent for Wolverine. But I remember when I first saw that thing, I was at some comic shop, had a bootleg of it back in whatever year that was, and I thought, why? Why is he Australian? I don't think we know he's Canadian, but Clobberin, that whole second mutation, secondary mutant abilities made no sense with Beast. One comics would have him look like a cat, and one different one, wouldn't. I just like Blue Beastie. Brian still has the VHS of that one. Yeah, I just like Blue Beastie. So, yeah. Let's see here. But like I said, this Iron Man cartoon, I'm gonna watch. I've been watching it just to be watching it. And the second season is better than the first. Maybe I would stipulate 90s. Damn. There you go. Boy, the first season though, man, like I said, it was horrible. Am Iron Man. There was some okay toys though. There's that, you know. Marvel Action Hour with Iron Man and the Fantastic Four and them. Was that mice? Was it the mouse, the little mice thingies? Biker mice from Mars or whatever? Was that what it was? Who wants me to review that? Biker mice from Mars? Nah. This armor sucked though. Jeez, Usa. I hated this damn armor. And there's the stupid mullet. I say that like there's some other kind of mullet. Steven says, I'm surprised that they didn't have Wolverine say in that cartoon, that's not a knife. And unsheath his claws. Yes, I'm surprised. You would think they would. Iron Man season 1 was kiddie. Oh, it was really bad, man. Good team versus bad team. Yeah, second season seemed heavily influenced by Batman with villain per episode. Yeah, they still had some dumb shite in it. I've been watching it now, Decepticon, because back then I didn't watch it much. It was a slog to get through season 1. It was, whoo. I did it. I mean, from a terrible opening, it was imbecile. It was like it was written for 5-year-olds, and I know it was written for kids, and that's fine. It's supposed to be. But written by 5-year-olds too. I mean, some shows that are written for kids are pretty clever, you know. A little bit. I mean, of course, that FF season 2 was written by guys who love the Fantastic Four, and they said, "We'll just kids will like it fine, and we'll get to do whatever the hell we want." This season 2 of this is better, except for the stupid mullet. At least it was written. The writing is so much better. Oh yeah, Iron Man, armored. Oh no, Kid Tony Stark. No sir. I know. Yeah. No. I got you. But I can't. One thing about the show is this armor sucks. Force Works sucks too. Holy crap! This armor is poo-pooey. It is poopotic, poopatism, poopy ass. But what was hilarious is every time he would put the stupid armor on in the first season, now they don't do it in the second season. There was this one shot. No, all of it's normal 2D animation. Then you had the one shot of him in 3D right there. For like one little shot of him putting the armor on in 3D. And I'm like, what? And then it snaps back to 2D. It snaps back to normal animation. I'm like, what, really? I mean, I don't, why? Did they say this will look really cool? The kids will like this for like a nanosecond of 3D. It looks so out of place. I don't know. What are you trying to say here? And Force Works sucks. Their comics suck. These characters suck. And by the way, I challenge you to go watch that first season to see how unbelievably the stuff they get away with. Even I thought some of it was sexist. The way the women are written, how they're all fighting over Tony Stark. Wanda looks terrible. She's got a horribly, unbelievably stupid accent, and she's got short hair. So Scarlet Witch is horrible. I never cared about the Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman one way or the other. And then there was the other one. Who was the other chick in the show? I forgot the other chick now. Who's the other girl? The other lady on the show. There were 3 of them, and they were all fighting over Tony Stark all the time. God, who was the other woman? But and again, the theme was wretched. what was it? I can't remember the other woman, but there were 3 of them, I'm pretty sure, and they were all fighting over Tony Stark. Oh, it got raunchy there for a while, didn't it? This armor sucks. This armor really bites. Let's see. Pretty much, the armor always sucked. And at the time, I wasn't reading more. I would like to talk to D-Bud about this, because at the time, I know I wasn't reading Marvel. I mean, was the armor at this point in the comic this crappy? Probably. Well, I mean, there are a lot of Iron Man armors I don't care for, but the second season was only slightly better. That is just poopy-tastic. Poopy diaper garbage. Shite. This one right here is the one I hate the most, I think, right here. I hate the face mask. Whatever happened to Sentry? Clearly not a breakout star. Yeah, Sentry was terrible. Hawkeye, the guy voicing Hawkeye, I mean, they would, and Nick Fury too. The voices were horrible. The voice, you think of, I guess all the voices went to Batman the Animated Series. I would think that, because Andre Romano was terrific with the voices. I mean, she was always, but the FF cartoon of the second season did a pretty good job with voicing and voice acting. This one, you had Robert Hayes, who was a good actor, so he was fine. But, I mean, the voice on Nick Fury, man, I mean, wow, dude. The voice sucked for Nick Fury, for for everybody, really. Let's just be honest. They were all trash. Well, not all of them. I mean, Robert Hayes was okay, but everybody else was pretty terrible. Sentry was terrible too, though, Sean. Good God. Yeah, exactly, Steven. Steven says, whenever he's holding his helmet like that above his head, I'm reminded of the Mask cartoon for some reason. Yeah. So that sucked, and this cartoon blew chunks in the first season, but I got through it, and I've been watching the second season. It's got a way better opening. It's not as good. It's not good like it's not great like the second season of FF, but it's more watchable. It's still got too many things wrong with it. Like, for example, but if I ever see that Mark D with a C guy, I'm gonna. Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey, Sentry was terrible. I've got all his action figures.
You liked Sentry?
No,
he sucked. Wasn't he in Force Works?
Yeah, he was in Force Works. Yeah, he looked like an ancient. He looked like an old man, and he had this. I don't know if you got a picture of him up there, but he.
No,
like a shriveled guy, gray with.
Right there.
Didn't he have like
That's a little picture.
Lance or something?
He had a big axe thingy.
Yeah, but in the comics, he looked like an old dude.
Yeah, this was a silly cartoon.
Yeah, and I hated that armor too. I agree with that
armor bites.
Chest. Yeah, with the it looks like he's wearing half a shirt, with the color in there. And I've read every issue. I've read every issue of Force Works. I own every issue.
I knew somebody did. I can't tell you how many times I've said to myself, there's somebody out there that's read every issue of Force Works. I'm sure of it. And people would say to me, come on now, don't be ridiculous. I said, no, I feel it in my bones now. I'm not overstating this. Night. I believe there's somebody out there who read every every issue of, and watched every episode even of this. Force
Works. I've seen every episode, yeah.
You did?
But wasn't it called... yeah, wasn't it called was it called Iron Man and Force Works? What was the cartoon called? Iron Man Power Hour?
It was Marvel Action Hour.
Works. Yeah, Marvel Action Hour, yeah.
No one even knew. They barely even said Force Works on the show. If you didn't know comics, you just thought they were. In fact, if I guarantee you that they look like. I mean, what most people might say, is that the West Coast Avengers? Because they kind of are almost.
Yeah.
In the second season, famous voice actress Jennifer Hale was the voice of Spider-Woman, and thought she did it. Yeah, she's fine. But man, most of the voicing on this show was poopy. Joey De Lewis.
It's been so long since I watched it too, but sometimes you're kind of like, oh, I'm just getting a cartoon. I'm not going to complain. It's like there's actually obscure characters. Because Iron Man, I never thought Iron Man is a B character, but that's what everyone calls him. You know, I loved Iron Man.
It's a comic book character.
I guess
maybe,
yeah.
but yeah, everybody else he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
not now, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Not now. Yeah.
Because I was talking earlier. I don't know if you were here. How one of the things about this, because I'm watching the second season now. I survived the first season, but I was just thinking about how these were I like the days when Tony Stark had a secret identity and everyone knew he was Iron Man. And the movie just kind of before that it was done in the comics, but when I wasn't reading the comic at the time, so when I went to see the movie. I mean, I had not picked up a Marvel at that because I was pissed at Marvel with Civil War and all that kind of garbage. I just didn't like them. And I had not, I think I bought maybe a couple of those Warren Ellis Iron Man books, the Extremis or whatever, but I didn't really, wasn't paying much attention, I guess. And I was like, wow, they're going to do that with the movie. But then it's like, oh, they're doing that with the comics, right? So, but still, for the longest time, Tony Stark was not known to be Iron Man.
And the cartoon, I know the comic. When did he come out as Tony Stark being Iron Man? It was pretty late, wasn't it?
I'm saying it was in the 2000s. We did our D-Bud, yeah. But on this cartoon, no, it was just had the same old deal where he was the bodyguard.
Yeah, which works too for the car. That's great. It's like Thor and Don Blake. I love that, having that alter ego. Not exactly the same, but just he's got a secret identity. So. But Force Works wasn't a great. It was all right. I'm sure probably it's a lot better than if I read it again. Than
I was kidding. Yeah, I really had nothing against it. I was just goofing off.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I remember putting it in people's folders and flipping it like, okay, there you go. That's about it. Because this is like what the early '90s that came out or whatever.
Yeah. So, and they're always trying new characters. I'm like, how is Sentry going to be popular with that look? He looks like an old,
That's why they didn't do that
like an old
cartoon.
Man.
That's why they didn't do that on the cartoon. They made him young. You made him look. I mean, he still
they made him look younger.
Silly, but yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look as like a shriveled up old man. It was
right.
It was really.
Wanda looks terrible. And by the way, the voice of Hawkeye made me want to punch the entire universe in the face.
Oh, yeah?
Can you say that on YouTube? I don't know. Because it's like, he's so bad. The voice of Nick Fury is so bad. Let's see, who else? Wanda's, her accent is so embarrassing. And the way she and the other chick fight over Tony Stark in the first season even make me cry sexism. And that's bad. It's to a cornball extent, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Of course, things change. The way you view things changes over time. But a lot of us were excited at the comic book shop. It's like, wow, we're getting an Iron Man cartoon. This is awesome. And then they had the Hulk on too around this time, right? Didn't they have?
This was a little bit later.
The newer.
He was on an episode of this and an episode of FF in both second season. I watched the Hulk one last night. Sean says, I remember the figures for the Iron Man cartoon. I have a few of those. Being vac metalized. One of the few lines I remember doing that. Vac metalized.
What's that mean?
Vac metalized, Sean? Does that mean like they had metal parts? Because I think they did.
Well, I have a bunch of those. I bought, I think, almost all those action figures. I got them in a box in the basement somewhere. Sentry's a creepy figure.
I have some of the villains. I think I got one Iron Man one. And like I said, I cannot stress enough how horrible that armor is. Oh, was it like that in the comic at that point? This one right here.
Was it like that in the comic, or?
I don't know. What is wrong with this idiot?
The action figure looks horrible too. Where's my?
Yeah, I have one of the figures that looks. I don't know why I bought it.
Because I buy everything.
Well, I didn't have the same
box
excuse.
then.
I didn't even have the same.
That's
excuse.
in my room.
That looks a little bit less, but man, the second season it looked a little bit better.
It's just the coloring doesn't work. The coloring doesn't work.
The mullet. Oh my god, man! Why?
Well, if I still had hair, maybe I wish I could do a mullet, but yeah.
See, they actually looked okay sometimes like that. It looked better in the second season. This is terrible first season right here. Look, he's got normal hair at least, but opening's really cool in the second season. It was the Marvel Action Hour. Oh, you know what's weird? I was watching it. I have a hey Herc 130. What's up, friend? Good to see you. I have don't judge me. You can judge me. Donnie's not here to judge me. Donnie, where are you, Donnie? Donnie, if you're here, I'm judging you for being here. As you like to say. The oh, here we go. But I'm just gonna say I was watching it on Disney Plus because I have. Don't shoot me, but I have like the codes for a family thing. I don't pay for it, but so I'm watching it on there, and they have one episode. I have the DVD pack of the FF one, right? I don't have the DVD of the Iron Man one, but someone on one episode, not on the other ones, they left the DVD features like ads for the show and the stupid Stan Lee intro, because the DVD comes with something very merciful. You can turn off the Stan Lee intro, the Funky Flashman intro. Decepticon said they put a metal effect on the plastic. Two companies claim it's too expensive. Toy companies claim it's too expensive to do now, but every line did it at one point back to Kenner C3PO. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm looking at my C3PO. I
think I know what he's talking about there because I have an Iron Man one like that.
Yeah, some of the parts are kind of shiny, look kind of metallic. Yep.
He fought him with the Hulk. Look, he fought Hulk with the Hulkbuster in one episode.
And it's a crappy Hulkbuster.
It's a crappy Hulkbuster. Yeah. And
the yellow stripes on the side.
Yeah, it wasn't a great. And Hulk's not wearing purple pants, which means it's evil. Where are your purple pants, Hulk?
There've been a bunch of Hulk cartoons, right? Because this wasn't a Hulk cartoon earlier Hulk cartoon, and then there was a later one, right? So
there was the one where that used to come on after Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Hey, Tiger Stripes, good to see you.
Hey, Tiger.
When he when his clothes would grow back after he would turn back into Bruce Banner.
yeah. Wow.
But then there was one in the 90s.
Yeah. That was after Force Works.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was kind of okay. It was interesting, had a great opening and stuff, and Lou Ferrigno did the voice, but then somewhere in the middle of the second season, it became Hulk and She-Hulk. And then it became all about She-Hulk.
Did she twerk?
Yes, she twerked every episode. Actually, you know what, though? She was still fun, and she had an actual personality, unlike the stupid TV show. So she was actually... Yeah. But she was annoying because She-Hulk is just annoying. But I mean,
did Wyatt Wingfoot show up a few times in the cartoon, or was that just the FF?
He wasn't on the FF unless he was in the first season.
Did they have Wyatt Wingfoot on with?
Could be.
Didn't he date She-Hulk for a while?
In the comics, yeah. I don't remember it being on the
did it
cartoon.
Show up?
I watched it recently.
Did Wyatt Wingfoot? Someone help us. They all this stuff merges together at one point. I thought Wyatt Wingfoot appeared in some of the cartoons.
I heard. I know.
I 100% could be wrong.
No, I mean, I watched them recently, and I got to be honest with you. Even though it was just last summer when I watched those Hulk cartoons, I remember She-Hulk being on it. I could be wrong. I don't remember Wyatt Wingfoot being on there though. I have to remember that. I think.
But we got the awesome chat out there.
I don't trust my memory. So Armored Adventures. That's different. That's Kid Tony Stark. I think I watched like 2 seconds of that. And said,
do you remember Teenager Tony Stark? I don't think D-Bud Martin watched that, right? Yeah.
I watched D-Bud.
Wasn't he a time traveler? Was he a time traveler from the future?
I don't know. Was he?
That came back, I think. Yeah.
Oh, Captain.
As a younger
Infinity's
Tony
not
Stark.
Like that.
Yeah, I thought that's how they explained it. And then they kind of just ignored it. Didn't he die, or then they ignored it in the end, or the real Tony came back?
I don't know. You watch that thing?
I read it too. Yeah.
I'm talking about the cartoon.
I watched and read it. I mean, it's just been so long. So you're trying to,
Hulk animated shows. There are 3 of them: the 66, 82, and 96.
96.
This one called The Incredible Hulk was the one where his damn clothes grow back. I can still remember that theme.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good theme though. Then there was the Fox one. See, that's him and She-Hulk. That's later. At first, it was just him. Let's see that cartoon. Hey, Oliver Belamonte, good to see you.
Hey, Oliver.
That cartoon had guest shots by Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Thor, The Thing, Iron Man, and Nick Fury. And of course, She-Hulk became the last half of the second season. It became Hulk, She-Hulk.
Okay, that looks like a scene from the new TV show.
Yeah, it does. The good thing about the Iron Man animated series, says Oliver Belamonte, was the origin of Mandarin episode. At least we see how the Mandarin acquires the 10 rings. Yeah, I think, but that was the first season, so it was kind of, they handled it kind of goofy. The Fin Fang Foom was on there, but they had, and there was a Fin Fang Foom figure, by the way, because of that, which I didn't get.
Yeah, it's a Build-A-Figure. I wish I bought that. I saw one at Comic-Con this year. It was
Damn
like $80 or $100.
And then at the end of every episode of the second season, he beat the Mandarin was so campy and silly. He beat him in the end of the first season. At the end, he's getting his rings back. At the end of every story of the first season, they have him going somewhere and getting one of his rings back and stuff. And so, I think at the end he finds him at the end. I guess they didn't know they were getting canceled or something. I don't know.
Ended on a cliffhanger.
No, I don't think it did. I got to watch that last one. It's easy. At least the second season's easier to watch. It's nowhere near in a class with the second season of FF. But man, that first season will make you want to. Man, it's bad. Holy crap! And I'm not talking about you're an adult, jackass. You're not supposed to no. I can get through the I can watch it like I'm a kid and enjoy it, and know that because I still enjoy.
I was just excited to have a Fantastic Four cartoon. I couldn't believe we're getting an FF cartoon. And I always tell the story when I got married on a Saturday, so I was watching. I think I got to look up which episode, but I think it was a pretty good one in the second season. And my buddies are like, "You have to go to the church." I'm like, "But I haven't seen Galactus to the end of the Galactus episode." Like one of my buddies turned off the TV. It's like, "We're going," I was doing it as a joke, but because we had rented a condo or whatever, all the guys to stay in before the the wedding party, before the like, make sure Mark's not late. He's always late.
Tiger Stripes, they were on Fox, the network Fox. These particular cartoons we're talking about. So whatever your Fox affiliate was, they were on there. There was, like I said, as far as superheroes are concerned, there was Spider-Man, X-Men, and then actually was Marvel Action out? It was Fox too. Yeah, they're all Marvel. There was Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, Hulk, Silver Surfer, and this was the 90s, of course. Was there another one? Was that all?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Yeah,
there was Biker Mice from Mars, but they don't count.
That doesn't count.
But it was part of the Marvel Action Hour for some dumb reason.
Yeah.
See, there's She-Hulk.
The Incredible New Shmoo.
That doesn't count either.
And the Thing. And we got Beta Ray Bill on some episodes too.
He was on
Surfer, right?
On Surfer.
Yeah.
No, not Surfer. No, he was on he was on Surfer, but it was weird. It wasn't like the real one from the Simonson comic. Later they did a really good origin on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, though.
Yep.
So yeah, She-Hulk was. I mean, she was fun on the show. She was kind of. I mean, I don't know. It was played for laughs too much, and she was goofy, and she met Dr. Doom and all this crap, and they did. At least Dr. Doom was on there, on the Hulk one. And look, She-Hulk was on the other one too, and that's nasty. It's good to help it. They had Mr. Fix-It on there.
Yeah, I love Joe Fix-It. Great character.
Yeah.
Peter David, yep.
Captain James T. Skywalker. What's up, buddy? A shame Saban never says Sean says a shame Saban never followed through with their WW2 Captain America cartoon. Yep, a test reel is floating around YouTube. Looks neat. Yeah, I watched it. I watch it every now and then. I've showed you that before. I can't show it here, but I don't think I can anyway. But I've watched that many times, Sean. That makes me go, man, that would have been so good. Because see, Captain America got screwed over by the stupid other Fox cartoons. It was terrible on what they did to him on the X-Men and Spider-Man, especially X-Men, though. I'm sorry. No, X-Men, they did it right. Apologize. The Spider-Man that handled it wrong. They really screwed his origin up on Spider-Man. But on X-Men, they had an episode that was Cap. I forgot. I've got it backwards. I'm sorry. There was an excellent episode in the last season where it was a flashback to Wolverine during World War II, and he met Captain America. That was pretty good, actually.
That was on Spider-Man, wasn't it?
No, that was on X-Men. On Spider-Man, they totally screwed his origin over to the point where I wanted to punch multiverse and everything in existence gets punched right in the damn face. Boom.
Infinity.
All of us who exist, innocent or not, deserve the punch that reverberates across all dimensions for what they did to Captain America. It may seem a little extreme to you folks, but I'm telling you. But anyway, maybe not. It was a little extreme. I'm sorry, YouTube. Don't hurt me. Yeah. Fox aired the live-action Power Pack pilot around the time these cartoons debuted. I know it's debuted. I like saying debuted. I'm immature. It's about as bad as one would think. Yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine.
Live-action Power Pack.
Power Pack. I mean, if you tell me you bought the,
did they have the guy as the horse?
I don't know. Did you buy Power Pack?
I bought some Power Pack. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Do I hang up on them?
Well, they had the crossover with Franklin right at the time.
Yeah, so Franklin Richards was in it, so I have to allow it. Damn it.
Yeah, right. damn it, Mark. And then later I was buying it for my kids. I think they had a kids version of Power Pack, which made sense. I bought some of Power Pack. Well, they were. But I think then they had I know. But then I think they had a kid specific cartoon, like the Marvel Age, with Power Pack. I was buying that for the kid. Some of those were actually better written than some of the mainstream stuff that was coming out in those kids the kids Marvel Age, the Fantastic Four and the retelling old stories, and the Avengers or Spider-Man. Those are fun. I'd read them to the kids at night too. So those were a lot of fun. I'm like, why am I buying the other new stuff? This is so much better. Even though it's a rehash. Yeah.
Yes. J.D. Lewis, that's it. Yeah. Loved former Major Talbot John Vernon as General Ross in the 90s. Yeah. Yes. John Vernon, of course, always did the great. Yes, Captain Skywalker, I think it was syndicated. Marvel Action Hour was syndicated.
Probably was, right. Yeah.
It was. Good call. Forgot about that. Josh Joseph in the final two episodes of season 2, Iron Man teams with Force Works to defeat the Mandarin, and the Mandarin appears to get killed or has his hand chopped off by some desert marauders. Again, I thought that was the first. Maybe it was the second.
It was ended up in the Mad Max universe. It sounds like.
I guess so.
Furiosa got her.
Yeah. So you remember this was the one. This Hulk cartoon right here was that music was that a good theme though. Now the intro to season, to the 96 one's really good, by the way. It's got great dramatic music and it has great the art. And that intro, watch that intro sometimes. It's so good because it's sort of like it looks like a nice like a montage, if you will, or a collage of Hulk comics from throughout, Hulk story throughout history or whatever. But the thing is, it's got Lou Ferrigno doing the voice. Now, it's so. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad he got the gig. There's nothing. I'm not saying anything about that. On the Fantastic Four cartoon that he appeared on, right? The one episode that was one of my favorite ones of all time when he fights the Thing. It's Ron Perlman doing the voice of Hulk and Bruce Banner. It is so much better.
How'd it work? It worked good, yeah.
Ron Perlman's a dumbass in real life. But he's a good actor, So he was good at doing the voice. So on that one, it was really good. And then poor Lou. I'm glad Lou got the job. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
he got the gig only because he played Hulk on TV, which is fine. Yeah. Everyone's thinking I'm being mean to Lou. I'm not being mean to Lou.
Well, I think he finally got a cochlear implant years later. I don't know if Maddie's daddy's still in the chat, but he was mentioning it, I think. And, it's to get it much later in life, too. If you grew up with, the cochlear implant, you can normally speak pretty well. I know one of my friends of mine, his kid was one of the youngest as an infant to get a cochlear implant, and he speaks, he's fine with speaking, but just imagine all of a sudden you can hear and then trying to speak. So it's pretty impressive to even be able to attempt something like that.
Gap After Dark, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Gap.
Sean says,
Solar Man.
Does the Solar Man cartoon? No, sir. I'm afraid not. Did that actually get a hold? Wasn't there just one of those? He was in Marvel Comics since the 70s. I remember being confused at the cartoon as a kid, thinking why. Odds for was he? I don't. Matt G, what's up, buddy? I don't remember. Did they do a Solar Man cartoon? Are you kidding me? I remember the dumb comic. Are you? Did they really do a cartoon of that? Are you just kidding, Sean? Maybe they did. Do you ever see that?
I don't remember seeing. I mean, I know the character, but I know they did a couple of
one whole comic, right, or two. Well,
yeah, did a couple of comics or something, or
I guess
I think
they claimed that Stan Lee created them,
right? Yeah, Stanley. It wasn't like Stan Lee's latest creation or something.
It as a Stan Lee creation, or some kind of horse hockey. Yeah,
yeah.
This was great though. The Silver Surfer cartoon, man. Just that we're definitely going to take a long, hard look at. So we'll review it soon. I know you've seen this.
Oh, there is a Solar Man pilot. Yeah.
1992
animated Solar Man pilot.
Only one, huh? Wow.
It's out there somewhere.
Maybe it's on YouTube somewhere.
It didn't fly. It burned up.
Good. You've seen this, of course. Silver Surfer.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's an all-time classic. And the toys were great for that collection, too. Some great toys.
God,
that Beta Ray Bill. It's
fantastic.
Beta Ray
right there.
The Surfer. There's a cool Galactus.
He looks terrible on the cartoon, but he looks great at the figure they did.
Figure is great though, yeah. The Galactus, it's a smaller Galactus. They can't do the scale, but he's actually holding the Silver Surfer in a plastic ball that's with with liquid. Of course, the liquid all dried up, and it's supposed to be, I think, like they put it's a syrupy kind of stuff, so it doesn't go away. But I found it the other day. There's a surfer stuck in there, and he's no liquid left to spin around in, but it was supposed to be like Galactus holding this ball up. If you goggle, do Silver Surfer eventually if you want it later. Silver Surfer Galactus figure. It was a weird figure, but it was kind of cool.
Nice. This is the only problem I had with this show. Only one problem, and I get over it. But it always the 3-part origin story. When you ask me to take the Silver Surfer's origin without the Fantastic Four, it bothers me.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
Other than that, you get past that, it's great, especially the first episode. And then later, once you get him going, when he becomes Silver Surfer after the pilot, after the 3-part origin, it's terrific. It's so damn good, man. I love it. That music, that score. It was weird how I didn't even mind the occasional CG shot of Galactus and stuff. It didn't necessarily need to be like that.
Yeah,
but it still looked kind of cool.
I think they're going for some kind of weird Kirby-esque look there, in terms with the Kirby montages. Even though it's not an exact copy of that, I think that's the kind of. I'm guessing that's that kind of inspiration to make it look like different. Like Kirby had those backgrounds that were totally different. You could tell it wasn't a hand drawn. It was a collage. So I'm wondering if that's what the look they were going for.
Could be. But it was so cool. I wish I would have thought of this when I did my poll. Damn it. Because, this was going to get done anyway, so it don't matter. I love it. So
it's a classic. That was a good series. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it'll be. And
he was 2 seasons. Was it 2 seasons or one?
No, I wish it was 2 seasons.
It was one really long season. I thought maybe.
This is a website with an article that talks about the plans that they had for the second season if it was going to get done, and the Fantastic Four were going to be on it. Harlan Ellison wrote an episode of this first season. So did Dorothy Fontana, by the way.
Wow.
Because Larry Brody, the guy that did, he said he wanted to do a serious science fiction, show because he
more sci-fi,
right? Comic, yeah. And it was incredible. So let's see here. What was I about to do? Oh, let me go ahead. I guess we'll just close the poll out now, since I think we got enough people. Okay, 38 votes. Are we ready to close the poll out?
Yep,
I'm doing it. All right.
I voted early and often.
All right. So, all right. The question was, which 90s Marvel cartoon should Nick Weiser and I review next? That's because we did Spider-Man already. X-Men comes in first place with a solid 50%, a whopper.
Wow.
Whopping for my. I have binged that recently.
Not even close.
Yep. Not even close. Fantastic Four with 23% in second place. Iron, I am Iron Man at 15% in third place, and in the lowly 10% for the poor old green skin
Hulk smash.
Yeah, buddy. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But you know Captain Skywalker. You should review Avengers this month. Oh, we've done it. Well, the great Mark C and I have done a show about it way back. But that's this year. I binge it every couple of years. I love it that much. And I'm either going to do a show where I just talk about it myself, or I have somebody else come on and talk. I'm not telling anyone to go binge it. But if someone, when I find someone who wants to do it, they can come on with me, or I'll just do it myself rather than review each episode. I don't know. Maybe I'll review a few episodes a week. Like just do it as a segment of Monday Night Mark C. Or do like maybe a few episodes a month or something. I don't think about that. Maybe there'll be a segment thing I can do. I think Silver Surfer was the show that had Kirby build over Stan Lee for created by in episode 1 and mysteriously changed to Lee build over Kirby for the rest of the series. I'd have to check that. I don't remember that. But,
I'm going to check it right now.
It's being checked upon, sir.
Because I got that. I'm pretty sure I got that on my.
I got that.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. So let me go. Let me check. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, good. If that's true, gooder stuff, man. Hey.
Pretty sure I got it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Surfer Silver. Let's see.
Huh. Well, I mean, dang.
That wouldn't surprise me too if it went that way. And then, then the Stan said, "What are you doing?"
So, well, that would be cool. But yeah, Earth's Mightiest Heroes is coming, buddy.
Nice. Yeah, there were 13 episodes of the
Surfer. It did end on a cliffhanger. That cliffhanger was so bad. I mean, because we knew it was never get it again.
Yeah, the opening was so cool for that. God, the Kirby
music
stuff, machines. Yep.
Oh, that theme though. I can't do it. Sorry.
I'm listening to it right now in the background. Yeah, I've got it. Can't play it, but yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, that would be nice. It would be nice with it. I mean, so many cartoons. Earth's Mightiest Heroes got cut way too short. Also,
yeah, that got cut for a replacement, right? Yeah.
It got cut because Marvel's a bunch of morons. I love the Avengers movie and all that stuff of 2012.
Yeah,
but Jesus, man, don't let it ruin the cartoon. See, basically, when the movie hit, they didn't know it would make $1 billion. So their ongoing production, before up there was Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Then they come along and said, "Well, that doesn't look like the movie because it looks like comics, jack off." So they made them scrap it so they could do that bag of filth, Avengers Assemble, which is putrid, drivelly garbage, you filthy trash, maggot infested filth, and it's bad. It probably not be. I might be overstating it a little, only because it not so much on its own. If it existed without countermanding or costing us Earth's Mightiest Heroes, maybe I would just think it's blah. But it cost us Earth's Mightiest Heroes so it can rot in the everlasting flames of animation damnation. Because it sucks. It really sucked.
Oh, I'm looking at the credits for episode 1, and I can't show it because of something that's on the screen, but embedded in it. What shall we say? No, I can't. I can't show it because it's showing something.
Can you confirm?
Yeah, no. Stan Lee. It says Silver Surfer created by Stan Lee and then Jack Kirby. So episode 1 has Stan Lee over Jack Kirby.
Well, they may have changed it.
Unless they they could have changed it after. But yeah, so episode 1 has that.
I think I've heard something like that before too, but I can't.
Let me check episode
Maybe something
2.
else.
Yeah, it looks so cool. Yeah. Oh,
Makes me go back and watch it.
Yeah, so after the credits, and they say, let's see. I'm trying to skip through the show. Origin of the Surfer Part 2, Larry Brody, Avi Arad, Stan Lee, producers, Rollman, producer. And Silver Surfer created by Stan Lee. Well, here I can show this still here.
I believe you.
Yeah, but
of course you know I believe you.
I know.
Any way to screw over Jack.
Yeah. So created by Stan Lee. But that the episode 1 did have it like this, so maybe they did change it. But the version I have has it like this. But this has just such cool. We can show a still. It's
It'd be great if I could cut the Funky Flashman name off of that.
Yeah, cut it out. Yeah. But it's a great looking.
That's great, man.
Great looking cartoon.
This an episode?
Episode 2, yep.
Episode 1 was the same deal, though. So,
yeah, it was the same deal. Yeah, same deal. Yep. But
that's so cool. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks. Just look.
Yeah.
Look
well,
great.
He's a liar because he is on. He contradicted himself. Even he's on paper saying that Jack created him.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with the Surfer. Stan, right?
Got Tom Scioli's Kirby book. I may have changed. I have that book as well, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. How is that book there, Sean, by the way? Maybe I need to read mine. Hey, Sean Carter, good to see you. God, I love this so much. This is so good.
Yeah.
And just, there's the thing. As soon as you start watching, you go, I'm only going to get 13 of these. This is pissing me off.
Yeah, it was only 13. Yeah, Ego. Yeah.
Thanos' ship. Thanos' voice was kind of weird and creepy, but fun. The guy doing Thanos' voice. Yeah. That's greatness there.
Yeah. All from Jack, right? Yeah. The more I hear about all this stuff praising Stan, I mean, Stan obviously deserves some credit. He did do a lot with promoting the company, but which is a very valid, thing too. You don't have a promoter, and he obviously had some ideas.
If you don't have something to promote
stuff.
Okay, how good a promoter you are.
But I mean, when you take too much credit, that's when you run afoul. Taking too much credit. That's the big problem. That's a big problem I have. Like the more I read about Edison, the more you realize what an SOB, he was to people, and he crushed his enemies, and it was kind of like Conan.
Yeah.
Hear the lamentations of the women.
History's written by the winners, dude.
By the winners, right? So he, he was a very smart guy, obviously, but he was. The more you read and learn, God, he was brutal. Yeah,
indeed, HB. Yeah. Well, he's contradicted himself on Surfer, but most of the times he admits that Jack created him.
He does.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of interviews. Most of them where he at first, even in the very first Fireside book, Origins of Marvel Comics, he admits Kirby created him. And then later in an interview in a thing called not Marvel Feet, Comics Feature, it was a fan mag of the early 80s. He talked about how he did it and said he thought of this idea, this character, and he created him, and he sent it. He says, "Let's see old Jackson draw this one." No, stupid ass.
Yeah.
Right. I can't stand it. It makes me sick. But he sent it to a lot of 50 and 60-year-old men. He's Santa Claus, and you can't even.
Yeah, but people don't know otherwise too.
Well, they don't do the legwork, but I know that. But no, I know that, but they don't want to hear it. When you tell them, you just get called a Kirby cultist and a nut. They won't listen. They won't listen to if you say, "Let me show you a lot of things that will prove that the Stan didn't have a creative bone in his body, and it could be proven." You get called a cultist, and that's it. And remember, you can get in trouble. I shouldn't even be saying this on the show because that's $1 billion company that used him as a figurehead when they were just a multi-million-dollar company in the 70s and 80s. They paid him to be the figurehead. Stanley presents this and Stanley presents that, and that's all he was. That was his job. It's a shill as a figurehead. Well, what do you think? All the people. If it were come out provably how many people he screwed over, Disney would not like it.
Oh, God, buddy. Good night, Steve. Yep, take care.
And that's why most of the comics historians out there just defend him because they don't want to admit
rock the boat.
Well, no, they don't. Because what do you think if you're one of those historians that relies on cooperation? for Marvel and Marvel and the other companies, especially Marvel. And like if you have a magazine that relies on being able to use their material for stuff like that, or a book or anything, if they don't like what you're saying, that's it.
You're out. You're persona non grata. Wonder how that works. Yep.
Yeah. Oliver says, way back in my teenage years, the 1994 Fantastic Four Toy Biz Silver Surfer figures plus its 10-inch deluxe was all dazzling with chromium, and it was pricey too. Yep, I remember those. Got a bunch of them.
I got it in my living room. I'll be right back with it. Hold on.
You got them.
Of course I got that.
I've seen what Stan Lee looked like in the early 60s. I can say that Stan Lee's greatest creation was Stan Lee. Boy, was it ever. Did he ever? Man, he created himself. He created Funky Flashman. I mean, but I mean, show me any. Here's the thing: it's provable to show anything. What did he write before he got together with all those guys? Nothing. And what did he write after? Nothing. And he calls him. He created and again, he came up with the Marvel method. The Marvel method is the dead giveaway. Marvel method is a conversation between him and the artist. The artist goes away and brings him drawn pages with a full story and art all on it, and even with words around the margins saying what's going on, and sometimes even dialogue there, and he just fills in the words. And yet he created the writer credit so he would get paid as writer and editor. You tell me how he wrote anything. How's that writing? Hey, Mark, you're a great artist, Mark. I want you to go and let's see here. Zibble Zobble Man has a big fight with Zubber Global Man and saves Skibby Scobble Gold City from Bloodless Go. Go to it, Tiger. And we talk for 10 minutes. Then you go off and spend 3 days, 4 days, 5 days creating it all on the comic book page and bring it back. And I say, well, yeah, but you got to let me put the words on the balloons. And then I get paid as the writer. Boy, I really busted my ass writing that story.
It's funny you mention it because I was watching a Stan video the other day explaining the Marvel method. I don't know why it came up in my feed. But and he was explaining that he's like, oh, it took me too long to write all these books, so it was much faster. And then I just had the outline. I told the artist what to do. I'm like, that way we could do like 20 books at once, much faster. I'm like, gee, that sounds like a lot easier. It seems like it's a lot easier that way. I just said, oh, Spider-Man's doing this or Spider-Man's doing that. I was like, wow, that's an easy way to get out of doing a lot of work.
Yeah, so because you let other guys write your shite for you, and then but you're controlling everything, so you got paid. I got that one. Even I do have that one.
You got that. This is really cool, Oliver. Yeah.
When you're in charge of the paychecks, you get to pay yourself as the writer because you put words in the balloons.
Yeah. Right.
No, you got it all wrong. Jennifer Lawrence created Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and the entire Marvel universe. Of course, I have that one.
Ooh,
yeah,
chromium.
I got that.
It's a big surfboard, yeah. And not a lot of articulation, just his elbow rotates like that, and pretty much the arms, but that's about the only. So you can. So he lives next to my printer in my family room. Oh, the pain.
I love those big ass ones from KB.
Yeah, they were great.
KB toys. Oh my god, I've got
they were
that.
Good. Yeah.
The ones I have of that size, I don't know. You probably have way more than me. I've got a couple of Spider-Mans. I've got a Captain Universe. I've got Moon Knight, of course, Silver Surfer, a torch. I think I got a Human Torch. I got a
lot of them.
Versions of the Thing. Yeah, you got more than me probably, but I got those.
I think I have.
Beast. I got Beast.
I think I have Moon Knight. I have Omega Red. Is it Omega Red?
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah, I got him in the basement. And Ghost Rider. I got both torches, the flame on one and the non-flaming.
I think.
Yeah, because there were two versions of the torch.
Right. I got the Thing with the coat. Did you get that one?
I don't have the Thing with the coat.
I think I showed you that one once. No, I showed you that.
Yeah,
one.
I have the big. I have two of the big things.
Right.
But I don't have the Thing with the coat.
Captain Universe. I got that one.
I don't got that one. No.
The Spidey Captain Universe. I mean.
No. That one he had the super. We had the ultimate powers.
Yeah. Yeah. And
one issue, right?
Oh, I got Vision. I think I got Vision.
You might have more than me.
Daredevil. Oh, I think I got the yellow costume Daredevil and
the big one, 12-incher.
Yeah. I think. Again, my memory's faulty, but I'm pretty sure I got that one. They did that one, I know.
I got to go through my collect. I stopped doing it, but I was opening all the boxes and trying to find, categorizing every figure, making an Excel spreadsheet. Because I was opening up some boxes the other day. I'm like, I didn't know I had that saber tooth and that version of Wolverine, and then I had a Spider Woman.
Oh yeah,
Julia Carpenter. I'm like, oh, I had that one. Yeah. Because you got to stop buying. How many versions of the figures do you have too? So you want to make sure you don't buy duplicates.
Yeah. Back then,
sometimes they do a really nice one. Yeah, I was buying everything, all the legends.
I was buying all the DC Direct ones. I was buying all the.
Those were nice, the DC Direct ones.
I mean, I bought Swamp Thing. I bought those really nice elaborate sets like Swamp Thing and Orion. The different new gods and stuff, and Demon, and I mean, just so many. I bought everything. Jonah Hex. I mean, if it came out, I was doing this throughout the early 2000s. But they were really coming out hot and heavy with those those DC Directs. I was buying them all.
Yep.
And buying them all then for Sergeant Rock.
Yep. Did you stop buying them or after a while?
Eventually, when I moved here, I slowed down. Then I had to make rules and I had to stop. I had to eventually stop. But by then it was. I mean, there's so many now. It's just. And I also went on a binge. I went on an eBay binge back in the early 2000s when I was living in my last place. I was buying a bunch of those old starting lineup football figures as well.
Oh, the football figures.
I got a ton of those.
But you still have all your figures, or
I still got those. Yeah, but not. I wasn't buying any of the current players much. I was buying the old school players. Jill.
Hey, Jill.
Says Zark has so many toys that every day could be a treasure hunt. That's right.
That'd be fun. Yep. Yeah.
That's right.
Definitely.
Hey, Sean, have a good one, buddy. Thank you.
Take care, Sean. Didn't make
good to see you here, man. Yeah. Yeah. Good to see you, Jill. And man, always great to have you here, Sean. Captain Universe would make a good TV series as long as it wasn't done by Disney. Well, Disney Marvel, yeah, that's for sure. No, they would really ruin it because we don't even want to go into how bad they would ruin that. They ruin everything, don't they? Stan looked worse for wear, says Brian, at Silicon Valley Comic Con in 2018. That was right before he passed. Wow. I had the boys get a picture with him, and he was nice considering, but it was sad and retrospect. Yeah. I mean, he was in bad shape at that point,
I think he was always. I've never heard him being.
No, he was always nice.
He was always super nice to fans, and so
he was always very nice to fans.
Yeah.
No, I didn't meet him, so I didn't want to meet. I could have met him. I saw him many times walk by the table, but no. In fact, because you know how I went.
All your buddies knew.
He had. I went to remember Dragon Con one year. He had a table called Stanley Collectibles that sold stuff for him that I guess it was his name, so I guess he quote unquote owned it or whatever. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
But it was Stanley, and they were doing it in his name, and I guess he owned. I don't know.
But with Marvel characters on the stuff?
No, it was just it was like a regular comics table with comics back issues and trades and hardcovers. It was a dealer, but they were. I guess Stan was the business behind was like his money behind it or something. I guess it was some kind of venture with him. And one year, I was looking at the table. So I had to buy a bunch of stuff. Then I noticed that it's Stan Lee's table. I'm like, oh hell no. No way. I'm not doing it. So I put it all back. Then later at the con, my sweet loving son went and he was at a table, just happened to be, and you know which table I'm going to say. He brought me a Legion Archives because I don't know how I figured I didn't have it. Got it cheap there. It was on sale, pretty cheap at Stan Lee's table. And when he bought it for me, when he showed me, and I realized he didn't know because I wasn't around him when I saw the table. Yeah. So then I saw that he got it to that table. I threw it in the garbage and I set it on fire. No, I didn't. I kept it. I kept it, but I was like, this came from Stanley's table.
But Stan Lee wrote it. Was it good writing?
I love that he created the Legion of Superheroes. It was so nice of him to do. Well, I remember when I created the Legion. I said, I don't work for DC, but I'm going to create this comic for them anyway, so they can make money because I like creating characters that I don't personally make any money on. That's the kind of guy I am. And I said, Jack, you see, that's how you create characters. And Jack said, gee, Stan, you're the best. They all liked me. They all really loved me.
Yeah, because Stan really didn't have much success. Like, didn't he start that POW comics or something? And he tried to create some more characters and stuff years later, and nothing really went anywhere, as far as I remember.
He, well,
and then he had another superhero line he tried.
Remember when they did that DC line of shit for him?
Oh yeah. They did like a special, special characters or something, like new characters. Yeah.
Did they put his name on Stripperella or some stupid character?
Oh, that's some new character line. I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah.
Creative new creation by Stan Lee.
Well, you see, I created these characters because they told me I did. So there you go. It's coming at you, true believer.
But I mean, most people would never have any idea. The shame is they don't know Jack Kirby. It's one thing for Stan Lee to get so much credit, but if Kirby got, at least 3/4 of the credit, or what I'm getting at, like if his name was a household name other than us comic book geeks and nerds, then I wouldn't be as bad. But at least now, for Batman, Bill Finger's got his name on the Batman creation. That. So, but people still don't know. But gradually over time, maybe people will see. But
they do know
the Marvel yeah, there you go.
Good.
Well, the Marvel movies, so even though they have the that credit, it's at the end, but they got like the Eternals. Why don't they show a picture of Jack Kirby with his? Well, thankfully they didn't. I guess in retrospect,
but yeah,
but they should have had like a picture of Kirby and like some of his original art and say, thanks to Jack for creating these wonderful characters, or something nice, like that. But
well, it's a similar situation to this one. This is have you ever seen this? That's Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Yeah.
Hey, Neon Knight, good to see you, buddy. You see how like Bob Kane's got that one stupid image of Batman with rings, and look at all the other stuff that's by Bill Finger. Yeah, the fingerless Batman.
Yeah.
that's
yeah, it was all most of it was Finger, right? I mean, and then he was ghostwriting.
Finger.
Yeah, it was ghostwriting, and God, how did Kane had this? You said his father was a lawyer.
Yes.
So
basically, he had a savvy shyster father.
Well, I'm not gonna call him shyster. I'm gonna say smart. Yeah, I guess. Well, if Finger had, obviously creating that much, but I mean, I think it's great that creators were able to, he was able to protect his side, but yeah, not to, when you found out years later how much Finger did. I mean, you had no idea. Like,
yeah. He was
didn't he die poor, die penniless, Bill Finger?
Oh God! Well, yeah. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw the Bill Finger. What was it called? Bill Finger and Me. Batman and Me. Yeah.
It's tragic, man.
Yeah, it created one of the most popular characters of all time, and the whole time Kane is raking in the millions and millions of dollars. And when Batman '89 came out, he was on all these TV specials and living in a lap of luxury, and everyone's giving him accolades. And the whole time he knew that how much work Bill Finger did, and didn't say anything or do anything or say, well, really, I want to give my buddy Bill Finger some credit too. He had a lot to do with the, because he didn't want to split the pie, right? But he did eventually admit it. So
later he kind of admitted it. Yeah. So. Yeah, for those of you, I don't know if you guys can see this well, but I don't think so. Yeah, I've shown this every now and then because it deserves to be shown. But yeah, this is I love it, man. What if Bob Kane had created Batman without Bill Finger? Because see, you could pick on Bob Kane, and nobody cares. Because in fact, everybody agrees with you. I've never heard one person defend Bob Kane for what he did to Bill Finger. But boy, howdy, you go after Stan and you have insulted Santa Claus and Jesus Christ. And anyway, But it says Batman and no one. Let's see. What to do? What to do? That looks like a bad guy. Time to go into action. Ow! Say that was easy. Time to go to jail. I caught a crook. What's with the wings, Pally? I lifted them from Leonardo da Vinci. Beyond that, I don't know. Well, can you hold this? Is there some sort of commissioner I could talk to? Not in this comic. And was it? Or it was kind of hard to read the writing. Are there any other imaginative or colorful villains that need capturing? Nope. Well then, I guess I'll go home. I wish I had a car. Next, all of Bob Kane's other ideas. So you can do it to Bob at least. I mean, Steranko slapped Bob Kane once.
Oh wow!
He slapped Bob Kane in the face. And he likes telling that story too. I don't blame him. But boy, howdy, you can't go after Stan.
No.
I probably ruined your reputation by you being here with me going after Stan.
I'm gonna be persona non grata.
You're ruined. You're gonna get canceled.
But most people have no idea. Like even my buddies who like read comics casual, not uber super collectors, semi normies who've read some comics. I have no idea. Like you mentioned, like Stanley's taking all this credit for stuff that they didn't do, or at least you said 50-50. But remember the one time then Stan said his interview is I created Spider-Man. He's like, oh, but I got to add, Steve Ditko. I misspoke. It was with Steve Ditko. He caught himself.
Well, you remember I was telling you about that where Steve Ditko was it was that YouTube documentary made by Jonathan Ross called In Search of Steve Ditko, where I don't know how he got Stan Lee to get interviewed, but Stanley's lawyer was supposed to be there, and he was late in traffic. And they got Stan Lee on the thing saying, basically, in my opinion, Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. In my opinion. The result, it was fumbling all over the place. Like, okay. Yeah. Alan Moore was on that thing, Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
The part where they went to meet Steve Ditko was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. That was amazing. Yeah, I just saw that clip. Yeah, and then he talked to them without the camera on after, right?
Yeah. Basically told us to F off.
Yeah.
but Neil Gaiman got him in there.
Yeah.
So Ditko, talked to them.
Did he knew who Gaiman was, of course, too.
I'm sure he did. Yeah, he knew who Neil Gaiman was. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't know who. Well, Jonathan in the UK, Jonathan Ross was like their letterman or something. But I mean, it's not big here. But he didn't know who that was. No, but he knew who because of the business. I guess Steve.
The
Ditko
business.
I'm
wondering.
Ditko just doesn't care about that kind of crap. I don't know how he got in there. I'll tell you about that guy that I've had him on the show, my buddy John Cimino. What he did with Ditko. When Ditko passed away in like 2018, same year Stan did.
Okay.
But a few years, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many years before that, John, who's been on the show, he is the agent of Roy Thomas. He sent me a text on my phone of a video. No, it was a picture. Sorry. I think it was a picture. It was a picture of the front of what it seemed to be. It was like Steve Ditko's office front door. I was like, what? Yeah. And then he said, yeah, basically he went to try to get in or something because he said so. And I was like, am I doing fair that you went to Steve Ditko's office? He said he wouldn't let me in. But anyway, then that's all he did. He just let me. I guess he thought it was funny. And I was like, what the hell's going on? But anyway, about 2 weeks about a few days after Ditko had passed, he put on Facebook, he put a video up of him and his buddy knocking on Ditko's door. Ditko answers the door, looks at him, and they got their camera phones. He just waves them off. He doesn't flip them off. He's like, get the F
out of here. Get out of here, kids. Get off my lawn.
Shut the door on him. Oh, man. Kal-El says, back in 2015, while at Wizard World, I attended a panel where members of the Finger family described in detail what happened to Bill and his role with Batman, it was eye-opening, yeah. And if not for that guy in that documentary who found him, that guy was, that guy was like a detective.
That was amazing journalism, yeah. Yeah, because no one, and what was the impetus for that? What was the spark? Do you remember to get him on that? Like about investigating Finger. It's been a while since I watched it, but was there something that set him on that path to? Was he trying to? And he found Bill Finger's descendants, I guess, or someone. Cousin, but I'm trying to remember what set him on the path. It's been a while since
I watched it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what set him on the path.
Because before he ever did that, it was common knowledge in the comic book business that Bill Finger really, did all the heavy lifting on the creation of Batman. And
but it was an open secret, I guess, in the industry.
The industry all talked about it. I mean, look, when I went to Dallas Fantasy Fair in 1990 and got to meet Kirby for the second time, I went to this big award ceremony where Jack was being honored or something. The great editor Julius Schwartz from DC Comics, no less. One of DC's most famous editors. He got up on the stage and introduced Jack this way. He said, "Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster created Superman. Bill Finger and Bob Kane created Batman, and Jack Kirby did everything else. No mention of Stan or anybody else. Nobody's Stan." I always thought that Jack would have, Jack, of course, being the humble man he was, saying, well, there were a lot of other people that did a lot of other things, but he's pretty much right. So again, that's a guy that worked at DC, so he knew Bill Finger. It was common knowledge. There's a reason why even like Denny O'Neil named a street in Gotham City Finger Alley. They're always Finger Street. That's people commonly talking about Bill Finger in the industry, but the blurb always said Batman created by Bob Kane.
Yeah.
It's a shame that his name didn't appear until it's a sad one. The first thing that it appeared on was B versus Shite, Bull versus Shite. But you take what you can get,
Yeah.
But
that's for sure.
That family didn't know squat till that guy found him. Or didn't care.
Oh, they didn't care. They didn't know, right? Or maybe they didn't know, right?
Without him, they wouldn't have got any money out of Warner.
And they finally did, thankfully. Yep.
And well,
it's highway robbery. That's the kind of stuff that gets you just so angry. God.
Well, because these were descendants of his son. He had a son that had passed. That I guess he'd kind of been estranged of. You saw that part where he was buried in in a place for like just people, intransigent people, or like the people that he was buried in some kind of anonymous type of a
pauper's grave kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
horrific. Whereas Bob Kane was lying to people about his art all the time, saying, selling pop art of Batman because of the TV show. He got about $1 million out of the Batman TV show alone. Look, more than that, really. But then he was selling all this pop art, this art for like hundreds of thousands of dollars to people that he didn't even draw, like a Batman. And these paintings that he didn't even do.
Because he was an artist and he started as an animator with Fleischman.
He did some sketches, but these Joe Giella, he paid
later
Joe Giella to do a lot of them.
To do them, right? Yeah, to do them, yeah.
Right. Joe Giella was a pretty good artist, or mostly like an anchor artist at DC throughout the Golden and Silver Age. He did a lot of that, almost all of the Batman art for Bob Kane. He ghosted for him a lot. Bob Kane has this story where, do you know Bob Kane has a story where he met and he claims he had relations with Marilyn Monroe?
Wow.
Because he was at some party and he said, "I'm the guy that created Batman." Like he used to run around saying that to people all the time. Well, he was a lot younger back then, so
Yeah. Well, Marilyn Monroe did go for Joe DiMaggio, right? And then later married a playwright, right? So
but DiMaggio was a different kind of Batman, and he actually did the batting.
Yeah. Well, here's something I found on the interwebs. Yeah. So
indeed, Hungry Boy.
Reading about Bill Finger. So Finger said he offered suggestions as giving the character a cowl and scalloped cape instead of wings, adding gloves, leaving the masked eyebrows blank to kind of mystery, which is brilliant. Removing the bright red sections of the original costume, suggesting a gray and black color scheme, basically the whole costume. Finger initially said, suggested or influenced by Lee Falk's The Phantom, the syndicated newspaper strip, which Kane was familiar with. Finger said he also devised the character's civilian name, Bruce Wayne, wrote the first Batman story while Kane provided art. Kane already submitted the proposal for Batman in DC and held a contract. He's the only person given an official company credit for Batman's creation. Comics historian Robert Goulart and Comic Book Encyclopedia refers to Batman as a creation of artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger. Bill Finger was a contributing force on Batman right from the beginning. He wrote most of the great stories and was influential in setting the style and genre other writers would emulate. I made Batman a superhero vigilante when I first created him. Bill turned him into a scientific detective. Well, this is his Wikipedia article, so it's kind of
70s
kind of over. Yeah, hey 70s.
Well, you must be tired, man. You had a big show, Harley.
Yeah, I had a big meeting today, so I couldn't make it. You know what happens when you know how to do StreamYard, and then people know that you know how to stream. So I had to. It's like a neighborhood association. So then I get volunteered to like stream the whole meeting and
really? Wow.
Run StreamYards and set up the video camera. So I live stream from
nice
different location. And
sounds fun. Well, I hope you had a great stream there. 70s. It looked amazing. I was out on the road. I got to see a little of it.
Razor Fist was on, right?
A Razor Fist. Hey, Rick. Hail Razor
Hopefully
Fist.
You got 1 million views. 70s.
And you mentioned Razor Fist. Like he's a big fan of the Shadow and pulps and different things like that. Bill Finger's the reason. I don't care. They say that Batman was inspired by Shadow. He was inspired by the Shadow and the Phantom and the Green Hornet, all that. But Bill's Finger added things to the story that were nothing like those characters. So he still is. I don't like it when people say Batman's just a ripoff of the Shadow. He's not a ripoff of the Shadow. He's very similar to him in a lot of ways. Inspired by him for sure, but his origins nothing like theirs. He's not really like those guys. Or even early on when they made him use a gun for a little bit, they got away from that. He is a costume superhero, not just a cloaked vigilante or that kind of stuff. So, but he is definitely inspired by those characters, but not a ripoff. He's still his own character with his own multifaceted being, and that's all Bill Finger.
Yeah. And Finger is actually saying in one quote that Kane helped come up with the idea for Robin. So he said he's giving Kane some credit for the character of Robin here. So Bill Finger was some quotes I'm looking at said he said he wanted Batman to have someone to talk to, and then younger kids can identify with Robin. So he said it extended his appeal on a lot of levels. Yep.
Jerry
Bob
Robinson
called me. Yeah. What did I say? He says, Bob called me over and said he was going to put a boy in the strip to identify Batman. I thought it was a great idea. So that's Bill Kane. Yeah.
Jerry Robinson had a lot to do with Robin's design as well, and the Joker too. The Joker that was mostly Finger and Jerry Robinson, and not Bob Kane.
Yeah, and of course, The Man Who Laughs, the movie, right? Conrad Veidt.
Yes, Stephen. Conrad Veidt. Yes, absolutely. Kal-El, Batman's definitely inspired by the Shadow and Zorro and people like that, and the Phantom and Green Hornet and people like that. It's just that his character has a lot of things in that. I mean, inspired by them, yes, but there are many things about Bruce Wayne and his story stuff that are nothing like theirs. I mean, the Shadow's origin is nothing like Batman's. Batman's origin is really nothing like the Phantom. So people just like to say, because they like these characters better, they want to insult him because he's a comic book character. He's just a ripoff of the Shadow. No, it's just more to it than that. He's certainly inspired by them, no question about it. But he's very different from the Shadow. Although, and it was really cool in that 70s Batman issue that Michael Kaluta did, with that Kaluta cover anyway, when Batman meets the Shadow and they're friends, and they become friends. Because he's, like he even said, that, Shadow was doing it first. I love the Shadow, though. Man.
The Shadow's a cool character. Yep. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But, all this stuff. Yeah, but all this stuff years later, it's like when you're working like back then, a lot of times the story writers weren't even credited. The artists weren't credited, and it wasn't like today where everything is documented. Who the inker, the letterer, everyone is. So there's Robinson and Kane and Finger, they're all arguing over who created the Joker. So,
right.
Well,
I defer to Finger on that because, Kane just doesn't have any credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's just these disputes exist for a lot of characters, I guess. I mean, obviously Siegel and Schuster never fought over that creation thing, but Finger and Kane, well,
it's like at work too. When you're at work, sometimes, the higher ups, get someone to do like work, and then they take credit for for the work, or don't put your name on it, or and if you're just the the low man on the totem pole, you can get screwed over, right? So
yeah,
it's not unlike that, probably.
Yes, sir. Well, what can you do? So,
at least he's getting some credit now, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, man, what a night, everybody. Went by fast hanging out with you all tonight, but we've been here a couple of hours. I'm surprised I'm guessing you're probably all looking to.
A lot of people watching right now.
Yeah, it's good to see you all. I'm going to be listen. I know I didn't do all the things I was supposed to do this month, but each month I'm going to get at least one. Well, I did. I got we had a Bob Haney Earth B, and I did do one random comic review, but I want to do more. Next week, I think next week or the week after, it's going to do 80s comic shops and or maybe the 80s comic shop next week, and then I'll do the review. If you want to review something with me, let me know.
Sure. Or we should do that FF cartoon eventually too.
Oh yeah. Oh, you want to do that? You let me know when you're ready.
Yeah,
we'll do it. Now, did we suffer through the first season? I guess we're gonna have to.
Well, you can kind of skim. There's not a ton of episodes, are there?
I'm gonna watch it and talk to it. That's like 13.
You got to go through it all,
Because I never did sit through all that first. It was so bad. I'm gonna have a nightmare watching that. But oh God. Yes.
To the pain.
Indeed, Jill.
True, yep.
So I'm gonna get with Nick on that X-Men thing, folks. It won you X-Men. It won the poll fair and square.
X-Men is good stuff. Yep.
So the X-Men cartoon, it is. Now I got to talk with Nick because Nick has to watch it. Yeah, I don't know if he's watched them recently. We did the Spider-Man cartoon. And
he must have watched X-Men.
No, I don't think he did.
You wanted? Oh, he didn't. No.
Yeah, not yet. But we talked about doing that one. We're going to do it because I just did it a few months ago, and if he comes and says he wants to do it soon, I'm going to have to go brush up again because, that was. I don't know if you've watched that recently, but that was the first time I watched them all. Yeah.
No, and then it used to be on all the time on syndicated. Now that I stopped watching regular TV, or obviously, I guess it's on Disney Kids or whatever. But in the old days, you just flip Channel 5 in New York, or it would be on, all the time on the weekends. You could catch it, so or different times. But yeah, now you kind of gotta. That's the one thing, as convenient as streaming is, and having all these at your fingertips. It's there was something to be said about just skimming through the TV and hitting something that you like, and boom,
yeah.
Oh, I'm watching that now, or Shawshank Redemption, if that's on you, or The Godfather, or whatever, or Star Wars. You're watching it for the you just pick up wherever it is and you watch it. Yeah, that's a classic opening. Yeah.
Oh my God, that opening is so cool. I remember, like I said, I've told the story before, I guess, but that first season was so crummy of the FF that it was embarrassing. It's a horribly embarrassing opening theme song.
Yeah.
So I remember I was working in a security at a building downtown nights. And I was working. It was a Saturday morning. I was waiting to get off work. I forgot, or maybe I was working in the afternoon that day. I forgot. I was running in front of a building, whatever. I get a call from a friend of mine. He said, "Man, did you see that they started a new season of the Fantastic Four cartoon?" I said, "What? That so sucks. Shut up. You gotta see it." No, man, look, I did. It's got no. I'm telling you, man. Shut up. So he recorded it because I didn't believe him. So we would go do our usual, hanging out or whatever. that night. He said, "I'm telling you," I said, "Oh my God, I'm not watching this." Anyway, we argued. It was Carlos, actually. You met Carlos here before, I think.
Yeah.
So, idiot. I said, "Dude, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna hurt you." No, all right. So here we go. So we start watching it, and I'm like, and he said, "It's pure Kirby, man." I'm telling. And I saw this opening, and I'm like, "Oh, what?
What happened? What happened?"
They don't look like the thing. Doesn't look like a gorilla anymore.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, what is this thing? This part really goes by fairly quickly, but it doesn't have the stupid theme song anymore. It's just normal music, and they look like they're right up. These are taken from Fantastic Four covers.
It was the original theme. There's Outer Space Adventure or some cheesy.
Outer Space Adventure. They were hit by cosmic rays, and then it changed their stupid asses in a bunch of dumb ass ways. It was like, no need to fear, they're here. Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
No need, no more. And then it gets worse. I mean, you're going, all right, that's bad enough to make me want to. Never mind. But then Reed Richards is elastic. Oh,
Yeah.
Sue can fade from sight or whatever. Johnny is Human Torch, and Ben just likes to fight. Fantastic Four. And they should they go by like Mount Rushmore, and it's their faces. Yeah. Whoever wrote that song, I'm not gonna threaten anybody. Whoever
was
wrote
it better
that
than
song,
the Enterprise song?
Way better. No, it wasn't. I liked it. All right, so whoever wrote that song for the Fantastic Four first season, I'm gonna find them one day. I know it's been 30-something years, but I'm gonna find them. And you know what? I'm going to do something so horrible that you're going to believe, no, not even you would do such a horrible thing, Chloe. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to do it. Now, it's 30-something years. I think they're safe. But I'm going to track them down to the ends of the earth. Shocker! And then I'm going to make them listen to that song. Walk away as they scream in blood-curdling agony and terror.
Well, it's definitely an earworm now that I'm hearing it in my head now.
This theme was so much better the second season. It's and it's funny. The Iron Man first season theme is pretty lame and dull and not particularly, interesting. The second season is pretty catchy. It was the same deal with this first season. In this case, was horrible. And the second, was pretty damn good, and it fit these visuals. Lisa, hello there, Lisa. Good to see you, my dear.
Lisa,
I could look at this all day. It's probably making everybody dizzy.
Yeah, it's been a long road. Yeah,
it's been. Don't. Who's making fun of that? It's been a long. I've been watching. I've been binging Enterprise again. Go ahead. What?
When they speed it up, it bugs me. I like the slow version first.
Season 3 and 4, they sped it up.
Try to make it doesn't sound good. It's the original's the best.
All it does is
I'm going to listen to one.
The guitar. Yeah,
it's
the guitar's going fast.
It just doesn't work. It's too fast. I don't like it.
The song fits the visuals in a sense, it's a heartfelt song, but they didn't need it. Again, like I say all the time, it should have been just Archer's theme. And it was pretty cool when someone recently took did you see that video? I don't know if I
mentioned it. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, someone did a video with the First Contact theme to the Enterprise opening visuals, and they're really good.
I mean, I don't mind everyone says the song. I mean,
no, it's not it's totally not right.
Yeah, but it doesn't kill. It doesn't kill the show for me though. I gotta say,
visuals are really cool.
Yeah, and after a while, it grows on you. Yeah.
I'm already into the 4th season now. I'm starting to miss it. I'm controversial about the 4th season of Enterprise. People say how much greater. I don't think it's that much greater than the other seasons. It's good, but it had a lot of long, multiple parters and stuff. I'm kind of
had a bunch of 3-parters, didn't it?
2 and 3-parters. Yeah, I'm kind of partial to one standalone stories. It didn't do a lot of that in the 4th season.
And the end is very controversial.
The last episode is a piece of
and the second to last
was a 2-part Mirror Darkly. See, that was fun to watch, but it was kind of pointless.
But what happens to one of the main characters was pissed a lot of people off too. I don't know if people haven't watched it, so I won't say. But
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, I saw it, but
Well, one of the characters gets taken out, unfortunately.
Oh well, yeah, but problem is,
you don't do that right before the show ends. You take
the last episode, yeah. Oh, I don't care. That didn't happen. That's horse hockey. What they did the trip.
Oh, you don't even count it. Okay, all right. That's what I'm trying to say.
That episode does not count. I mean, first of all, a lot of people who hate Enterprise try to say because of that stupid last episode that it was a holo novel.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, the last episode was a holo novel?
They say that, yeah, because it had Riker and Troy there. Mm-hmm. So in the 24th century, that means the whole show was a holo novel. No, they're trying to say, people who don't like Enterprise much say that, oh, no, that's that reason why that contradicts continuity and stuff, because it does in some ways here and there, is because that's a holo novel. It didn't really happen. Whatever makes you happy, if you want to believe that. People who don't like Enterprise like to say that, whatever makes them happy. But
no, I ended up liking the show on the rewatch a lot more than I liked it the first time around, I have to say.
And the Mirror and Darkly opening is fantastic, though. That's the best thing about that episode with the two-parter where it shows, it's got all those visuals and stuff.
Oh God, yeah, and then you got the Constitution class, the other ship, what's it?
You got the Defiant.
Defiant, yeah. God, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh, you got to put the credit. You got to put Eric's quotes up.
I'm sorry, 70s. How about this? He said I was making him dizzy. How about this one? How about this one? 70s. What Eric said? What?
Oh, he's
not gonna. He's doing he's putting the lyrics.
He is doing the lyrics. Yeah.
You like? I don't think he likes that song. He either doesn't like it or he likes it a lot because he's putting the whole lyrics up there.
Was that Rod Stewart? Was that a Rod Stewart song originally?
No, but it sounded like him. Yeah, the talking theme song, The Enterprise.
Here. Yeah,
I admit it's cheesy, and I mean, to me, I got used to it. I agree they shouldn't have used lyric. I don't care how good a song is; they shouldn't use a song with lyrics for the opening of a Star Trek show. I mean, look. I don't think Voyager's that great a show, but that opening theme by Jerry Goldsmith's terrific. It's great. But I actually, like I said, I'm one of those weirdos that defends Enterprise. I love it, warts and all. I mean, I even like the first two seasons. A lot of people only like the fourth season. I like all of them. They have some crappy episodes, yeah, but I love the characters. It feels more like real Trek to me, and that's that. But nothing will touch the original series anyway. I mean, let's just be honest.
Well, I think someone posted on the Twitters the other day. It was 29 years ago to the day that the Tom Paris Voyager episode, the lizard mating episode with Voyager was out. And did they had baby lizards and they just left them on the planet as lizards? Right. I guess this mutated life form. It's like, aren't they really human that have been mutated? You just left them there.
Yeah, that's right. 70s. It was Russell Watson, but I think wasn't it taken from a Rod Stewart song or something?
Well, 70s would know. I trust him anything with music.
Oh no, it is Russell Watson. Yeah. No question about that.
Okay.
People always call it a Rod Stewart song. When I first heard it, I thought it was Rod Stewart.
Yeah. And Wagner, the Star Trek theme, Gene Roddenberry actually wrote lyrics to.
He did write lyrics, yeah.
To actually was something to do with the rights to the song, so he would get the rights to the song, so he wouldn't have to pay out as many royalties. So there was a kind of a reasoning behind that, yeah. So the original just had the theme, and then he wrote he wrote the lyrics. Yeah.
Right, Archer's theme.
So he
yes,
got more of a pie. Yeah.
Yes, Jill. Archer's theme. I think that was originally, and someone on YouTube did put Archer the credits to Archer's theme, and it just works perfectly for that. I have the soundtrack to Enterprise. Yes, I'm the one who bought that, and it's got the longer version of that opening theme that people hate as well as a song. I'll never forget. Not too long after that came out, I heard it on I was at some restaurant here, and I'd be at the mall or something. They'll be playing that song, and they go, "Hey, it's Enterprise."
Wow.
Oh, it was a remake of a Rod Serling song. Okay. Remake of a Rod Serling song called Faith of the Heart. Okay.
Oh, that's why I thought it was. But he didn't write it. Did he Rod write it, or did?
I guess he said it's a remake of a Rod song, so I suppose so.
Russell, because I'd heard that. Yeah.
Well, why didn't they just? Why would they remake it and they couldn't use the? I mean, why do a remake of it when the guy sounds sort of like a Rod Stewart?
Well, I can't afford.
They said, "Hey, sing like Rod."
Rod's expensive.
He is expensive, yeah. Scott Dracula. Well, the thing about Lisa, I wasn't a Quantum Leap fan like a lot of people are, which is fine. I made fun of it so much. Back when I was married, when that was on TV, I was not allowed in the room when my then wife was watching Quantum Leap because I was such a jerk about it. But
she loved it,
and she loved Quantum Leap. But so when Enterprise first came on, I was like, the Quantum Leap guy, I'm not watching this. Hell no. But I love Archer. I think he's great. I love Scott Bakula now. And, I love him so much. The other day I was bored flipping through some channels the other night because I was about to, I landed on NCS New Orleans or whatever. Is that the one?
He's on that. Yeah, he's on that one. Yeah.
And he's trying to do kind of a local accent a little bit. And I watched it. I watched an episode, most of an episode, just to see Scott Bakula on there. Now he's not a cop. Isn't he like a Navy?
I never watched much of those CSI shows.
Yeah, but it's an NCIS, so he's like a Navy.
Yeah, Navy cop.
Navy cop. Anyway, it's still Scott. I mean, he can still play Archer at that age, but he's trying that. Him in that accent, man.
And you said those accents are always fake, right?
Most of the time when Hollywood makes something in New Orleans, the accents are terrible because they're trying to have that. They think everybody talks just like with the Cajun accent, man. They talk like they're down the bayou and like stuff. And sometimes they get the accent. What's the movie with Dennis Quaid, The Big Easy? He's awful, yeah. And I like Dennis Quaid, but that accent, oh God, mother of God, I hate it. He's so.
And no one says New Orleans. It's New Orleans.
New Orleans is like, shut up.
That's fake, right?
No, there are dummies who say it New Orleans, but they don't say it right. They try to say like it's. Yeah, there are people say New Orleans, New Orleans, New Orleans, New Orleans. The one we hate is when people say New Orleans. That's the.
New Orleans is the worst.
We just say New Orleans.
New Orleans, okay.
70 says The Big Easy is a great movie. I'll take your word for it, man. Those accents, because I can't stand them. I don't think I ever watched it all because of that. A lot of people like it, so I trust 70s, But sometimes with the occasion accents, man, I'm like, oh my goodness. They think everybody talks like Justin Wilson. Wee. I don't know. You don't know who Justin Wilson is, do you?
No.
Good. You're a better person for it. No, there was nothing wrong with Justin Wilson. He was just a Cajun who had a cookie TV show, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I love cooking.
You can go to all the bars and locations used in the movie, and it has some great music in it. Have you been down here, 70s? I've been to all those bars. Yeah, some Cajun needs subtitles. Yeah. Like they live in the players. The Cajun accent and the band thing 2005, it was so fab. What's that?
Last time I was there, it's been 20 plus years, but the bartender asked my wife, do you guys want to walk home tonight or crawl home? And safety tip, never answer crawl home in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He probably put like a 6 for 1, or there was some grain alcohol or something in there. And the missus had to basically carry the missus home. And when people are laughing at you in New Orleans for being drunk, you're really drunk, I guess. Yeah. So
Neon's from down here. He knows he's from down here. The way we talk is kind of like South Brooklyn, mainly from the 9th Ward. Are you from the 9th Ward, Neon? I have been to New Orleans many times. 70s, cool. Yeah. All I know is every time I've gotten dragged down to the quad, I've wanted to burn my shoes when I got home.
Walking through some wrong stuff.
Man, I don't want to know what I walked through. I don't know. I was too scared to look down at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and certainly don't want to crawl through it. But see, I'm one of those weirdo geeks that doesn't drink. So that's why I used to get roped into being the D driver all the time. The designated driver. I was and the bodyguard, keep people from getting fights and stuff.
Yep.
And starting fights. But it was fun though. No, it wasn't. I can't say that.
Well, at least you weren't drunk.
Whoa, you've been to Rockin' Bowl? Wow. Cool.
And I love the sea bugs in New Orleans. They're great. God,
that's right.
So good.
Did Chili Lakeview? That's right. You told me about that. Upper 9, Neon Night. And we're the same age too, man. My first 20 years I was in Baton Rouge, Neon, and the next 20 years I was in Metairie, Kidder, Metairie, Laplace, and then Baton Rouge for a while, then back to Laplace and Metairie, and then the past about almost what is it? So almost 20, close to 20 back in Baton Rouge again. So Metro. I lived in Metro. I couldn't stand it when I used to live behind the Kmart on Causeway, and that was a nightmare during Mardi Gras. You couldn't go anywhere. Oh my God, it's almost Mardi Gras. That's the only thing not good. The only thing that's not kind of cool about living in New Orleans during Mardi Gras is on the actual Mardi Gras day. If you lived anywhere close, you didn't have to go to work, no matter what your job was.
Oh, it didn't matter, right?
When I got to Baton Rouge, they don't have, and nobody's off in Baton Rouge. But everywhere around New Orleans, everything's shut down. Yeah, I remember Harry Lee. You've been to BR. All right. There's not much going on in BR, buddy. I got to tell you. It's big, but there's nothing here.
It was fun. I think one of my first Sunday night geekeries a couple of years ago now, is it? I can't believe it, but over a year ago. Then, I used Google Maps and it was showing where, like, the places we went through. And then, remembering that drunken night. And then we were at a hamburger place, and when they cooked the hamburgers under the hubcaps, and Pat S. and you knew the place. And I go, so that's where we were. Yeah. So because the missus, someone had unscrewed the salt and salt shaker top, and then she went to put salt on the burger. The whole thing. She was so drunk, she just pushed it off and ate the. She didn't care.
Bringing new meaning to looking for that lost shaker of salt.
Salt, yeah. She had the whole, and then people were laughing in the restaurant. People do that prank all the time. So, yep, you got her. You got her good.
Some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I know it's Mark's own damn fault.
Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah.
Mark, did you go? Did you go waste away in Margaritaville? I bet 70s is wasted away in Margaritaville.
I've been to Margaritaville. Oh, it's fun there. Yeah, good bar. Yeah, I've been to Key West. Some of course, the famous place down there. What's it called?
Pat O'Brien's.
Pat O'Brien's and the Hurricane,
Cats.
and then Smokey Joe's. I think in Key West it's Smokey Joe's, and there's a Margaritaville down in Key West too. There's a bunch of Margaritavilles, and of course Universal has a Margaritaville with Jimmy Buffett playing there.
My friends loved a place called O'Flaherty's. It's not there anymore, but then it was also Ryan's Irish Pub that a buddy of mine loved. Buddy of mine loved to go to. I bet 70s went to all those. Ryan's Irish Pub and O'Flaherty's.
But those drinks are good too. And then you go to those places. I know you don't drink, but they have
Iberia. Wow.
They have the all the Hurricanes. All the drinks on the wall, all getting shaken. The ice kind of drinks. They had them in Key West or New Orleans or different tourist places. You pick a flavor.
Yeah.
And they're they're like it's alcoholic Slurpee basically. Yeah. So
I've been a few times, but once. Saw Tab Benoit's New Year's gig at the Rockin' Bowl a few years back. But cool.
Nice.
Cool stuff, 70s. Yeah. Well, I want some beignets now.
Oh, good stuff.
Who wants some beignets? Who wants to go to Cafe Du Monde?
Well, send me some of the beignet mix.
Yep.
You can order it online.
Eric had some. He made
Eric
some
got
beignets.
them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He knows how to make beignets.
Well, on the Italian side, we always had pizza frita or fried dough. So Grandma would make, homemade bread all the time, and then you had leftovers, or you'd save some of it for pizza frita. So that was good. Also, the days.
Mom
either have sprinkled sugar or tomato sauce. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Mom made banana bread today. It's pretty good. I don't think I ever had that before. Well, everybody, it's been fantastic hanging out with you. We didn't do much of anything, had no plans because it was such a busy, rough day, but managed to talk comics and related cartoons, which was a cartoon. There were comic book characters, and we mostly talked cartoons, but for the most part, stayed true to the show, being mostly about comics. There are going to be topics. I've been planning this. I get everything planned out, and I was halfway stuck to the agenda this month with the reviews and everything, and got more reviews coming of comics and more topics and all that kind of stuff on Monday night. Mark C Comics Talk. So, Mark D with the C. Tell everybody what you got going on.
Well, what I got going on is thanks to you and all my buddies and everyone in the chat. And I hit 500 subs last night during the stream.
Oh, put your link in there. If anyone hasn't subscribed to Mark D with the C, he's going to put the link in the chat. Please do so if you would do us a favor. We'd appreciate you subbing to him. Everyone here probably has, but just in case if you have not, or if you're lurking out there and you haven't, please follow the link. Or if you're listening on a re-listen, please subscribe to cross the 500 mark, so to speak. Mark.
Yeah. Mark that 500 mark. Yeah.
It didn't go down yet, did it? Did it go up?
I actually went up to 501, so I was worried it was going to go to 499.
Nice. We'll get that link in there.
It's very humbling. I just got it in there, and it's very, very humbling. And it's thanks to you and Jill, Eric. I shouldn't name anyone because I'm going to miss
502
naming people, but 502. Wow, thank you. And Raquel and Dadman and Nick, but everyone who supported me, and it's like we were saying last night after the air, like you're only human too. Like the numbers shouldn't matter, but it is. It's nice to know that
it makes you feel good to see the numbers.
Makes you feel better to see that.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks for subbing. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean Carter. Yeah,
Thank
awesome.
You,
Appreciate it.
That.
Yep.
And of course, we have a lot of friends here with a lot of great channels. Our good buddy That 70s who's popped in, but it's always good to see you there, buddy. He had a great show tonight, man. A fantastic. He had our great buddy Tom with Midnight Jets, and of course they had the amazing YouTuber Razor Fist, who's I'm a big fan of him. Everyone loves, and he's just had this remarkable show that he did tonight on his great channel. If you're a music fan, there ain't no better place than our buddy That 70s Rock. And I miss you, dude. When you used to come hang with the Global Geek Gang, buddy. We don't have that anymore, but I miss hanging with you. But I do get to hang with him sometimes on Midnight's Edge After Dark, which I'm there on Tuesday and Thursday nights, and 70s is there at times with us. Talking stuff with our great friend Tom of the and the other august friends there at That 70s. That 70s and Nick Weiser and Culture Casino, and you never know who else is going to be there. And, he's up to 885. Look at that!
Congrats! Well, next week I think you're gonna hit. I think you're gonna hit 1,000 in 17 days. That's my lucky number. So let's make
if we can get that link for him.
Yeah, I'm
if
sure
Eric has it.
Or,
anyway, if we can get, I have it in my description below. That 70s rock fan. But if anyone can get that link up in there,
I got my file open. Here we go.
Definitely my subscription below. If anyone can get that, if you haven't subscribed to That 70s, please do.
Yeah, he'll be at 1,000 very soon. Yep.
Okay, how about let's see one of my Wednesday nights that you're free because I know you stream a lot there. 70s, Blake 7 chat. I mean, it could just be basic Blake 7 talk, just you and me, buddy, or we can have other friends if you want. But it needs to be done again, since and I just love it because I never get tired of talking Blake 7. So it's on. If February is decent for you, fine. If not, it can be March. But you let me know, bro. And it's on. And please help me remember it because I have the garbage memory. But man, I would love to because I can never get enough talking Blake 7. So let's see. So there's Tuesdays and Thursday nights. I'm there on and you got Toxic Tuesday tomorrow night on Nick's show.
Yeah, so we got Waterworld. So we're doing.
Right.
I think I gotta start clipping it tonight. I think I'm gonna clip the special edition that's about half hour to 40 minutes longer. So
that's what he's doing.
I haven't watched that one, but the Ulysses edition. So Tom had pointed that out to us. And while we were thinking of Blake 7,
what about you?
What about me?
Why don't you go?
You are expendable.
And you're not?
No, I'm not. I am not expendable. I'm not stupid, and I'm not going.
One of my favorite episodes. That's a great scene. Horizon, by the way. That's from Horizon.
Oh, 70 says clip surprises. I'll mark and clip Wayne's World. Yeah,
Yep.
because I clipped the wrong show. I clipped the man with the golden gun, but instead of Goldfinger. So
oh, that was hilarious, dude. Did not let you live that one down.
yeah.
So
oh, thank you, Neon Knight. Much appreciated.
Oh, thank you, Neon.
Subject.
Appreciate you, buddy. So let's see. So they'll be Mark will be there at Nick's tomorrow night. I believe it's 9 or is it 8:30?
Usually it's 10 Eastern, 9 Central. I thought he said he might start a half hour earlier because I don't.
Okay.
Just check right. Nick's Twitter or follow him on Gilded.
Now
on Twitter. Yep.
Cool. Wednesday I'll be all over the place. I do believe 5 Eastern time. I'll be over there. Our good buddy Raymond Feliciano's King Dolphin TV. He and the lovely Sandra will be talking some comics with him. Nice. Then straight on to the Comic Book Roundtable at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with Loki, the great friend of Loki's channel. And then I'll right back here, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for some Wild Card Wednesday night fun. And then Thursday, after Midnight's Edge After Dark with Tom and the gang, I'll be back here, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time with for the Clobby's Clubhouse with our wonderful First Officer Commander R.M. Briggs, this great Chief Engineer right here, Mark D. with AC.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, indeed. And then Friday night, Dad Man Walking. Our good buddy Dad Man, I'll be on his channel, I believe 7 p.m. Eastern, talking some NFL playoffs. Yeah. Right, we'll be talking some NFL.
Said, yeah.
The Super Bowl is set. We will be talking a little bit about this past week's playoff games and a little bit about the Super Bowl and maybe some Super Bowl history. And then, of course, that's one of my favorite non-geek topics is Super Bowl history. I love it. And then 8:30 Central Standard Time on Nick Weiser's great channel for that Comic Shop Gang reviewing issue number 5 of the Infinity Gauntlet. And then Saturday night Star Trek. It's the big Fantasiastic season finale series. Season 4 wrap party with only one episode to review, but we will have wrap up the season. Best episodes, worst episodes. Hopefully, Lord Thoth will join us, and Jill, of course, is invited. Jill, our communications officer. Jill, if you're busy, no biggie, dear. But if you want to be there with us, please, we would love to have you. And so you can join us, and we'll just it'll be a shorter show because we're just going to review one episode. Then we'll get you all on who wants to come on, and we'll just talk about our best and our worst, and like a little bit of laid back, end of the season wrap party, a rest,
Yeah, I always look forward to those. I get my spreadsheet out, calculate the percentages on.
Oh yes, that's right. You like to do your Spock stuff.
Yeah, the engineering stuff. You got to do the math stuff. Yeah, I know Jill likes that. Yep.
And Jill, you'll be there? Cool. There you go. Well, great. I can't wait to see you. And then, of course, the topped off all, or maybe you can look at it starting the week all with a Sunday Night Geekery on Mark's channel, 10 p.m. Central. So,
yeah,
Eastern, sorry. So, a lot going on, folks. Can't wait
to
get it out
Sunday is the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, no, we're not.
Yeah, so Super Bowls, this will be the week between
2 weeks,
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'll be watching all of the NFL films, repeps of the Super Bowls like I always do. I wish I had those on DVD or something. So anyway, of course, NFL Network shows them. Anyway, so let's see here. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We will do the shout-outs proper at the beginning of shows now, but at the end, we just leave it at that, except for the end of Saturday Night Star Trek. That's special, of course. So I'm going to play us out of here. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Stay with us. We'll see you on the streaming. Clobber on, clobberers.
Clobberonimo!
Aye, sir. The more they overthink the plumbing, the easier it is to stop up the drain.
I just love clobbering time.